all night. Give me the green light. Parlay
Dum,
P, what's up?
dum, 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 dum.
Hey man, I think John Legend has become a forgotten figure in our culture who needs to be talked about a little bit more. He has some slaps.
He's uber talented. I mean, he's done and he had a lot of shit where he wasn't even like credited on like on They Say. I don't think that he's even credited on the song, but obviously he's the one that basically does the hook. You know, they say they don't do. Kanye used him like super well. John he was the first person ever signed to Good Music.
I know he was on Good Music, and
He was Kanye's first signing to Good Music was John Legend.
Oh, I figured it was Saha.
Nah, it was John Legend.
Nah, but
Kid Cudi was the second person. Then I think it was Side or Big Sean. You know, because we didn't really hear about Sci-Hi though until My Beautiful Dark with that insane fucking feature on So Appalled. I didn't hear about him until Good Fridays came out because then Sci-Hi was really cooking.
Yeah. I didn't either.
They did the Good Music Cypher on BET Awards too. It was clean. They did the Rosewood. They had the suits on. That shit was clean.
Oh yeah, back when the stars used to go to the BET Awards,
and they would participate.
You know, Ice Spice didn't go to the BET Awards. Who was Ice Spice to say, "Nah, I'm good"?
Hey, they got her doing SNL though.
She has some of the best handlers in the game.
The new song that she got on, I see what they're. Have you heard the new song that she has out?
No.
And she dropped it on SNL. She debuted the song on SNL, and it actually doesn't sound bad. You could tell it's straight up made for radio, but it's got like a foreign dude, one of these Afro beat type things. Yeah. You know that's what's in right now in music. Everybody just loves them some Afro beats. Like,
y'all got it. Hey, did you listen to the Drake album at all?
Yes.
How did you feel about it?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was good. I know a lot of people kind of didn't like it. I liked it. I thought when he first announced the album for all the dogs, he said, "Say you miss the old Drake, girl, don't tempt me." There actually are some songs on here that to me reminisce with old Drake, in my opinion. Like I didn't like Slime You Out when it first kind of came out. It fits so much better on this album. I like the song now. Like, it sounds great, to be completely honest. That sounds like an old Drake song. The end of the whole end of the album, the last 3 tracks all sound like old Drake songs to me. Like, I enjoyed the album.
I need to finish it. I just kept finding better things to listen to. I'll tell you my biggest critique of the album, because I listened to over half of it. You let your main competition just body you. You can't do that.
Big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, it's not like a Lil Wayne on God did, you know, where we know Hove had everyone's verses first. He got to do what he wanted to do, and they didn't hear the song until it came out. All right, you know. That's my guess. That's my educated guess. Uneducated guess, but I'll call it educated. Drake, this is your album. And I know you put the little piece on at the end, but like when I don't know, bro. Like, if you're my competition, I don't care how cool we are. You're not botting me on my album.
It's a time-honored tradition, though. You know, Eminem got Jay-Z on Renegade.
He did, but like not like I don't think it was. I don't think the difference was so wide, right? Like, I think that gap in the quality of those verses are so wide that.
And why aren't we getting this stuff when everybody's in their prime? They just keep getting them off the field, boy.
Why aren't we?
Yeah, like, for instance, I don't even know if you saw, I didn't find this out until like earlier this week, but like Rick Ross and Meek Mill are dropping a collab album. And it's just like, aren't you guys like 10 years too late for that? Like, why are we getting it now? Like, no, I'm not trying to be funny. I might listen, but like, I'm not even like as interested as I would have been in it. And like J. Cole is still kind of on top of his game lyrically, right? Like he's still, and Drake is still the most popular artist, but like, why couldn't we have gotten this collab like in 2017?
J. Cole was not. J. Cole isn't what he is today in 2017.
So you think he's
better? He J. Cole's at his peak right now.
Okay, maybe that's fair.
Especially feature J. Cole.
No, I agree. I agree. Feature wise, he's been like on one. That nigga's been on one.
You listen to the Yachty joint, right?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I would say that he's had this year alone, feature wise, he's kind of had one of those
2 Chainz runs.
2 Chainz. I was even gonna say, dare I say, Lil Wayne. You remember when Wayne had a feature? You know, everybody knew Wayne was gonna chew you up. Like it didn't matter if it was a non-rap song, like if it was like Sweetest Girl with Wyclef or whatever. Like I'm So Paid. Like obviously anything Khaled put out, he's on. Hove would, once they stopped that weird, somewhat of a beef, I don't know if it was even really a beef between them, but like, they never had really worked together.
Probably healthy tension.
Eminem and Lil Wayne, like when him and Eminem, No Love, like, yeah.
It's just one of the, I don't know. And I think because of my age and my affinity for Lil Wayne, I won't ever say that somebody had a better feature run than Wayne, but I will tell you I'm biased. So I will say that my answer for that is not based upon the lyrics that I heard. It's based on, I'm just not going to say anybody had a better feature run than Wayne. You know how like Stephen A. Smith would be like, nobody, like MJ's the GOAT. Like there's nobody who can say the GOAT over MJ.
Right. Let's not have this conversation.
Yeah. That's kind of how I want that Wayne feature run. But Cole's feature run is going crazy. But I know y'all don't come here to hear our music takes, although they're not that bad. Question for you. You want to talk about Israel and Hamas?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Me neither. You want to talk about destructive Desmond Ritter?
Yes, I do. Desmond Shitter. I do want to talk about that.
You want to go first?
Sure. This is something that we've known. We've known this. We knew that this was what he was, and now everybody else gets to see it. And there were some people that were proclaiming him as a great, basically the I don't hear y'all anymore after the Texans game that we barely won, because he threw for 300 yards finally. And,
1 touchdown though.
1 touchdown. He ran for 1, so we'll give him his credit or whatever. He played well. I mean, that was the best game he's played in his career. But based on the 4 games from last year and the 6 games so far this year, this is who he is. He's going to be a up and down quarterback, and it's going to turn us into a mediocre 7-10, 8-9 football team. That's the type of performances that he's going to continue to have. Maybe he will have a good game against a young defense at home. Maybe he will. But he's not it. We need to – this week is a big week. Whatever he turns in against Tampa on the road should tell us everything that we need to know and what we need to do moving forward. If he shits the bed again, I got to pull the hook if I'm Arthur Smith.
Yeah, definitely. And here's why I pull the hook if I'm Arthur Smith. You want another head coaching job. For one, you want to keep this job. But if you don't keep this job, you want another head coaching job. I could not tie my sale to Desmond Ritter to keep my job because, see, Desmond Ritter is an anchor. He's not a boat.
Mm-hmm. You're cooking. Come on.
So if you tie a sail to an anchor, you're going nowhere. You might go a little left, a little right, a little up, a little back. but essentially you're stuck where you are.
Dead weight.
And we're a 7-10 team back-to-back years. And I thought those were 4-win teams those past 2 years.
Which is why and I know a lot of people, like I said, I didn't get to see it. What were your thoughts on Arthur Smith? Because he was getting a lot of flack for kind of the way he managed that game.
I would like to see Bijan run the ball more because he averages 5 yards a carry. So that's half a first down every time he runs the ball.
And you did take a running back in the top 10. So, like, be nice to him.
I think Arthur Smith knows exactly who Desmond Ridder is. And I think that Arthur Smith, like many coaches, has a huge ego. You can kind of tell by his fourth down decisions. You can tell by him going for 2 on that touchdown when the offense hadn't been doing much to that point. Only 1 turnover, but hadn't been doing much. I think that he believes in himself so much that he believes that he can scheme and play call around Desmond Ridder's deficiencies. But the problem is Desmond Ridder isn't Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston makes bad decisions, but Jameis Winston can throw the damn deep ball. You go get Kyle Pitts. You go get Drake London. There's other.
You sign Matt Collins. You trade for Van Jefferson. You bring in Jonnu Smith. You draft. I mean, obviously, you had a 1,000-yard back in Tyler Algier, and then you add Bijan.
Cordell Patterson was returned more kicks than he got carries. You know what I mean? And he didn't return many kicks. They went through the back of the end zone, right? And my only knock on Arthur is his ego. I'm not mad at his play calling, honestly, because that's how little I believe in Desmond Ridder. And I think he is calling the plays that Desmond Ridder can run.
That he's comfortable with, that he's seen him in practice run. Yeah.
Right. And I guess the other knock on Arthur is Taylor Heineke's a gamer. And mobility-wise, the difference between him and Dez, negligible. Like, if we need an 8-yard scamper on 3rd and 8 and the pocket breaks down, Heineke can do it.
Yeah, it's marginal. It's a marginal difference in the two. Desmond's a little bit faster, but Heineke's he can be just as crafty running the fucking ball. Like, I mean,
but Heineke can throw a deep ball. I get it. Van Jefferson, first game, got him midweek, not much work together, but you can't miss that deep ball to Van Jefferson. Our offense does not make a lot of big plays. We get Drake London for 15, 18, Kyle Pitts for 12, 15. You know what I mean? We don't get the 40, 50 yarders. So when you got Van Jefferson screaming down the middle of the field, you can't miss that throw.
Yeah.
You just can't miss it. So that's what I see. But again, I'm disappointed in the team because I'm a fan of the team. But I'm not shocked in what I see based on the person that we have calling behind center. Because we talked about this off season. We talked about it last season because we're like, well, if he can't beat Mariota out while we're in playoff contention, that's telling.
Yeah. And another thing I didn't like either about Arthur Smith coming into this year was they just gave Ridder the job. And it's like, well, as soon as they signed Taylor Heineke, when they asked Taylor Heineke about it, he's like, it's Desmond's job. I'm just here, of course, if anything happens, and of course, just to make him a better football player. And it's like, no. Everybody's position should be up. Like, duh, of course, there's the obvious, right? If you would put Bijan Robinson on the depth chart as running back 3 when he got here, but we all knew that he was going to be the opening day starter, you still had to make it to where you're like, no, he's going to earn it in practice. And we got to see him earn it in practice too. Why is it that what did Desmond Ridder prove that said he should be starting over Taylor Heineke from day one? Shouldn't he win the job?
Here's what I'll say. When you have a quarterback competition in camp, whoever your guy is, they're not getting reps. And in order for Desmond Ridder to have the possibility of success, he needed reps. So that's the only reason why I understand it, but I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. Because if the quarterback needs reps to be good, then that means they should be battling for those reps.
Yep.
Because it's not the guy. Question for you, and I ask you these questions all the time. How would you have felt if we would have made a move for Derek Carr? How would you have felt if we even would have made a move for James Garoppolo? Yes, he's hurt again.
I wanted Jimmy more than Derek. And the reason why that I didn't want Derek Carr was because I said, man, this guy doesn't really win games anyways. Like, yeah, I knew what he was, but he doesn't win games. With Jimmy wins games, right? Like when he's a winning quarterback. He doesn't do anything special, but Jimmy could have, with the offense that we have, I think that we could have been a better football team because of that alone, just because of him. Like he's just a winner. He wins football games.
Do you think
he's not the one that going out there actually winning them, but he's managing well enough to win games?
Do you think Jimmy would have been able to keep his image clean in Atlanta?
Yeah, because if he can do it in Vegas, he can do it here. I know he likes dating porn stars. There's more of them in Vegas than there are here. Here it's just the strippers, right? So,
yeah. Question for you: What's the white girl scene like in Atlanta?
Southern Belle, Buckhead bars. That's where it is. There's definitely some pretty ass white women here. Like,
it's a metropolitan city.
Yeah. So like, and this is the capital of the South, right? So like, it's not Nashville scene of white women, but
I don't think he could play for the Titans.
Yeah. No. Nash Vegas? No.
Maybe we should have made a move for Tannehill.
Nah, don't want him either. It would have just been more Marcus Mariota type shit. So like, this is how I look at it. Now, if we had known this, obviously going into it, I would have loved for them to have just rolled the dice and took a look at Trey Lance. That's just my opinion, because from my understanding, if he wasn't drafted by the 49ers, we were going to take him at 4. That's what it seems like they were making it sound like. Like that was who we were targeting if we were going to take a quarterback. He, to me, still hasn't gotten his fair shake. So if he was available, oh, shit, they faked it.
Got it. And I didn't ruin it for you. See how your co-host supports you?
Yeah. What a fake. He was wide open. Look at Doug. Doug's out there saying that, hey, I won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. So what am I going to do with Trevor Lawrence? Like,
bro, if he could bring a Super Bowl to Cartersville, oh man,
nigga looks like Alex Smith out there.
That boy Trevor Lawrence to get the key to the city if he ain't already got it. I'll tell you what, though, just while we're here talking about Trevor Lawrence, I went to a great cast Cartersville football game that we briefly talked about. I don't know if it was before or after the show. And you talked about it being
on game of the week.
Yeah. It was game of the week.
No, literally, like on 92.9, like they said, it was Georgia high school game of the week.
I'm telling you, like being at the game, watching the game, it was game of the week. Went to overtime. Cartersville. Yeah. Cast, right? Like, had a big play. Shout out to Sokovie White, UGA commit from Cass. Called a nasty deep ball, like pause. But
that's some shit that, man, you might be playing on Sunday type catch.
Yeah, he's 5'9", though, so that's my concern, right? But he makes the nasty catch. It's PI. It's PI. He still makes a nasty catch. He gets in the end zone, gets called back for like holding or illegal man downfield. So penalties offset, do some weird stuff. Cass didn't have a kicker, missed 2 or 3 field goals, and had the opportunity to kick a walk-off like 30, 35-yard shot, something you expect a high school kicker to be able to kick.
Yeah.
Couldn't protect it, and that shit looked like a bad paper airplane going through there. Got to overtime. Cartersville finally gets a pulse of an offense, and Marshawn Lattimore with the pick.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
He running it. Did he get any run back to maybe help them set up, try and kick a field goal?
No, they're taking a knee. But he makes a big play. What happens after that? I'm losing my train of thought. Cass has a stupid penalty. They start from the 30 instead of the 15 in overtime. No offensive flow. Running back got hurt in the fourth quarter, and that was kind of the game. But it was a good time, man. It was a good environment. It was nice to see Cartersville come out. Good football game. Not too much drama. There was, some high school kids doing dumb high school kid stuff. But overall, like the adults, the ones I actually worry about, the ones who have substances in their system,
Yeah.
They were good. And I was on the Cartersville side in a cast jacket getting heckled and ridiculed by 14-year-olds. It was hilarious.
Right.
Like, hey, take that blue off. I'll go, no, I went to cast. Why would you wear that? That's ugly. You should throw that away. I'm like, no. Why are you over here? Because all my friends went to Cartersville, so I'm hanging out with my friends. But it was a good time. Nobody cares about that. But back to the Falcons. So we're sitting here at 3-3, and it was kind of when we were 2-2 last time we spoke here. And we weren't disappointed in the record. We were disappointed in the fact that we had chances to win games and we lost them.
Yeah, I mean, the Commanders being a perfect team to talk about because of what happened last year against them. Another game we should have won last year.
This is 3 years in a row.
Yeah. Because 3 years ago, Heineke did it to us, right?
Yeah.
Heineke came here and tore us the fuck up.
We came back. We took a lead. I remember the Commanders fans leaving in my in the section. Right, they're leaving. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's over with." End up winning that thing at the end.
Yeah, we falconed it.
Yeah, we did. But I will say, the defense has been such a bright spot.
Shout outs to Nielsen. If there's one thing I'll give the Saints credit for, boy, they fucked up by letting their DC walk like that. And I get it, Allen's a defensive guy himself, so I guess it wasn't that big of a deal. But he's been their defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator with Sean Payton too. And so, yeah, shout outs to Terry for actually using his connects and getting a guy in here. We've never had. I mean, Raheem Morris, the 2017 defense was good too. That was a good defense.
But that defense was also good because of our offense. Pick was overturned.
Yeah, it looked like it had hit the ground anyways.
Our defense was good because of our offense, though. Whereas now,
that year our offense struggled. It wasn't the same. I'm talking about the first year with Sark, 2017.
Oh, okay.
That year our defense finished in the top 10. We had some headhunters. I mean, Neal was healthy, obviously. Man,
still an NFL player.
Deion Jones was a Pro Bowler still. Grady Jarrett was coming into his own because that was year 2 for him. He had the momentum from the Super Bowl game. He sacked Tom Brady 4 fucking times in the Super Bowl. Vic was still there.
He didn't do anything that year.
Yeah, but he was a 6 or 7 sack guy. I think Tack was a rookie.
Is he still in the league?
Shit, hell if I know. He might be a practice squad player for the Cowboys or something.
I want to say we took Tack over TJ Watt, by the way.
We did. We absolutely did. TJ went at the end of the first round. We took Tack. We traded up for Tack, if I'm not mistaken, to like 21. Or maybe that was our spot that year. I don't know. I felt like we traded up maybe like 2 spots. Like we didn't give up much to move up, but we did.
Now we would have been higher than 21 because Sark's first year.
Maybe we drafted him the next year.
If we drafted the next,
we were a playoff team.
We were a playoff team. Yeah, that was our last time in the playoff team. That was Sark's first
year. Super Bowl year. Who did we take in the first round after that draft? I don't even remember who we took because we would have been picking like 31st.
See, what year was that? 2016?
Yeah, 2016.
Oh, the 2017 draft?
Mm-hmm.
We took Tack in the 2017 draft.
Okay, so then, yeah. But we took him like 22nd or something, right?
26.
So did we trade up? That's what I'm trying to think. Did we trade up? So, yeah, all right. But I was right. He was on the 2017 defense. The defense is the good defense.
Listen to our draft picks in that draft. Tack McKinley, Duke Riley, Sean Harlow, DeMonte KZ, Brian Hill, Eric Saubert. Okay, I only
KZ was about the only one, bro, that did anything in the league because he's still in the league. He's a starting safety for the Steelers.
Duke Riley plays for the Dolphins.
Yeah, does he get traded? We traded him like the very next year to the Eagles, like for nothing.
He's played in 6 games. He has no tackles.
Yeah, so we gotta hang it up.
I don't know.
Oh, it's a Derek Carr. Wow, and the offensive lineman picked it up.
I know he had on the 15th he had 3 assisted tackles. There we go.
Yeah, if you look at any of the Falcons drafts for the most part, they've been terrible. They've been terrible. The best draft we ever had was the year going into the Super Bowl year. We started 4 rookies or 5 rookies on that team, and Vic was in year 2. So, but Grady Jarrett, one of the best 5th-round picks ever, bro. Like, it's kind of crazy that a guy like that would fall to us.
Undersized, man. That's the thing, bro.
He's a dog at Clemson. Like,
he's undersized, so they say, it's not gonna work.
And Grady's kind of a pass rushing. He's no Aaron Donald or anything, but like, he's a beast.
But like, getting back to our defense a little bit, we got 5 sacks, and watching them, it wasn't just the fluke play sacks; they were legitimate sacks. I think Okudah balled the fuck out.
He's looked like a great pickup because he looks like he's validating his number 3 selection and pairing him with AJ Terrell. It's kind of crazy that Detroit kind of let him walk though, right? Because imagine him on Detroit right now.
Wait, what's my guy's name? The safety hybrid. Was it Brian Branch? Yeah, Brian Branch. Like Brian Branch, low key should probably be defensive rookie of the year, but because of his position, he won't have the stats to get it.
Well, who would it be though? Defensive rookie.
Witherspoon.
Yeah. Yeah. He's certified.
Here's my fear with this Falcons season. Arthur sets a sail on Desmond Ridder, and we make a bad head coaching hire next year with the team.
You think they get fired after this year? I don't think they fire him.
I hope not. Because I honestly, based on talking to Falcons fans, I think you and I are some of the few who actually believe in Arthur Smith. And we examine the nuances of the game and go, yeah, obviously he's not perfect, but this man turned
chicken shit into chicken salad.
Yeah.
Bottom of the barrel, bottom third, that bottom fourth of the league talent into a respectable, competitive team with 2 different quarterbacks, old Matt Ryan and backup Mariota.
Yeah, and the thing that's about it so, I guess, good that we like so much about Arthur is he had the ethos.
Guys, here's what we're doing. We're going to run the piss out of this football. Hey, I got you. We're getting ready to run the piss out of football.
Hey, think about how he's like, hey. Like, he wanted to get their attention to let them know we're about to run the fuck out of this football, man.
And
he did do it.
He does it. He does it consistently. And when you show up to Atlanta, you know that's what he's going to do. And again, with the right signal caller back there, it works, because here's the thing, and we'll pivot into this. Offense is down tremendously in the NFL. And I think a lot of it is because it's a copycat league. And a lot of these coaches are running the Andy Reid version of the West Coast offense without the Andy Reid personnel instead of the Kyle Shanahan version of the West Coast offense. Some would say Sean McVay probably has the best blend of it. The run pass, the run, will run the piss out of the ball, but also will throw the fucking air out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if everybody's running the same stuff, well, it makes it easy for defenses. So then when you see the Falcons, it's a harder game just because. When you see the Titans with good Derrick Henry, not the Derrick Henry of today, but like 2 years ago Derrick Henry, it's hard to beat them. When you see the Niners, who throw the ball 8 times in an NFC Championship game, it's hard to prepare for that. When you see what Miami's doing, now they throw the hell out of the football, but it's different from everybody else. And
speed.
Raheem Mostert is carrying me in fantasy, boy.
I know he has, motherfucker.
I'm 4-2 on the back of Raheem Mostert.
You want to know what? This is what's so sad though about Arthur and
we can make that trade, by the way.
Arthur and Rich. So I was going to get to you on that. I wanted to wait until after this week to do it, only because I need to beat Josh, and I would have been at a disadvantage without Jonathan Taylor. I'd be at a disadvantage because Derrick Henry's on bye. So like I needed another starter playing.
It's still there Monday, a Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Because I went through the entire league and I tried to fleece justice for Kenneth Walker. I knew he wasn't biting.
Yeah, he showed me the bullshit you sent him. I'm like, that's a bullshit trade. And I was like, Lee knows. I said, you should. I told him, I was like, why don't you just go ahead and offer, send over your kicker to him and tell him to give you Lamar Jackson? Like, because that's basically what you offered to him. I'm like, but one of the things though, seriously, about Arthur Blank and Rich McKay, one thing I don't understand, especially when we look at the league, when Kyle left to take the 49ers job, and you just sit back and you look at the league and who was on our staff. You could have had LaFleur, could have been the OC. McDaniels could have been the OC. Where was this? And even, I'm not even trying to be funny. Even before we hired Arthur Smith, why didn't we take a look at these guys that were already in our building before?
And gave us our best team we've ever had. Like
ever.
The 98 team had a better record.
They wouldn't have beaten that 98 team. Wouldn't have beaten the 16 team.
No. The 16 team was the best team.
The 16 team is literally the closest team to ever win a Super Bowl, but not win.
The 16 team is one of the most disappointing teams in NFL history.
They should have beat the. We know everybody knows they should have beat the Patriots, and it just would have been so sweet to take down Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Like that's how we win our first Super Bowl. It would have been the sweetest fucking Super Bowl.
I don't think you understand. Like that day, I was planning to go out in San Diego, get hammered. I was not changing clothes. I was coming to work for my 8:00 morning meeting with my boss, who already didn't really care for me, in my Falcons jersey.
Yeah.
And I was buying a round trip flight to Atlanta to make the parade.
Yeah.
And I didn't care. I knew I was going to come out of a damn near a rack to go to the parade. I didn't care. I was going.
Well, this was a once in a lifetime thing. And that night, if you know, that night, Keisha Lance got a extension, or maybe it was Kasim Reed. It's Kasim Reed, actually. Kasim Reed got an extension on bars were open until 4 a.m. And so we obviously everybody was at my dad's house watching it. You know, JP, Jew, I think Matt might have been there. There's a lot of us.
Hey, hold on. Julian. At times
yeah.
Better not.
Especially in a time like this. But nonetheless, everybody was at our house. So man, we were, have you ever heard Kanye's Last Call? His last song on
it's the last call for alcohol. Yeah.
And during the song, he's telling the story. He's like, man, I picked out my clothes. He basically he had already spent the money in his head that he was about to sign, and then they were like, Capital pulled on the deal. And so for me, it was the same thing. We were like, yo, all right, this is how we're gonna map this out. I was like, we're hitting Edgewood, we're hitting Buckhead bars. There isn't a bar scene that's not gonna see my ass tonight. And no, seriously, JP pays me at halftime. I'm going to Japan in like a couple weeks. I'm ready. I'm like, man, I'm about to spend it. I'm like, life is good. And, then the game slowly starts to turn. And
the Edelman catch is what I knew was over.
The Edelman catch, to me, it was certainly when I got worried. Because I kept saying to myself, okay, well, even if they score, they've got to get 2 2-point conversions. Like they have to get them. If they don't get them, they're not going to win. They got both of them bitches the same. They ran the same play. And
the Edelman catch was like, okay, the football guys are acting up. Then Julio did his best.
Catch, we just knew that was it.
Oh yeah, no, he did his best Antonio Holmes rendition. I go, oh, we're gonna win this. Devontae Freeman misses the block, sack, hold. And what I hate, and we shouldn't be talking about this, but who cares? It's Falcons first. Devontae Freeman and his whole Kyle Shanahan. Don't get me wrong. I blame Kyle Shanahan because I'm an angry fan. But I listened to Kyle Shanahan talk about this on this podcast he did with McVay. I forgot who else was on there, but like it's a great podcast that the Ringer put on. And he talked about, he goes, this is how we have been successful all year and they've been working all game. We threw the football. I'm not going to change it up at this moment because, I mean, he was like, Sanu got the first down on the play that the hold was called. So the play, he pretty much said, hey, dog, I called the right play. I can't stop this man.
I can't execute for them.
Yeah. And when he said that, I go, dang, you're right. I forgot. Sanu did get the first down on that play. Like the play call worked.
It was a slow, painful death, is what it was. And you know, everything that could go wrong went wrong, and everything that needed to go right for them went right.
Hey, question for you though. You talked about last call. Again, this is prior to me getting married. Does Drunken Hot Girls not sum up the life of the locker room more than any song ever made?
Underrated Kanye song that I'll admit, even when I first heard Graduation, and we're talking about 14, 13-year-old ears, it was my least favorite song on the album. That song is such a fucking banger. First of all, the beat, Mos Def's fucking la 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 la. Like the song is a perfectly orchestrated song.
But the content speaks to the life of a single grown man.
Yes.
Because it's like, we go through too much bullshit for these drunk hot girls. Like, how many times have you been up late, taking shots, hanging out? All you want is some tail. You want to have a little, you know. And then it's like, damn, bro, she done had too much. I can't have sex with you tonight. Or, oh, it's time to go. What you mean it's time to go? It's 2:30. I thought you was here for the night. No, I've got to go to work in the morning. Okay.
I had a sleepover last night.
That's different.
Yeah.
That wasn't new.
You don't want anyone going out. I've had enough DUIs in my life. Never convicted, by the way, people. But I'm not a convicted.
I know. It's just. I was just waiting on that. I was waiting on you.
But no reason to go out like that.
Bro, and I'll tell you, younger me in a past life, especially like with a first time girl, that's a weird conversation to have. Like, hey, I'm not comfortable with you like driving from my house. I can sleep on the couch. You can sleep on the couch. Like it's not one of those things where I'm trying to like creep you into sex and just keep you here. No. I wouldn't be able to live with myself knowing that something happened to you and you had a safe place to stay.
Yeah.
It happened with my wife. I think it may have been the first time she spent the night. One of her coworkers lived down the street. We go down there, you know, we have a couple drinks. She drinks. She's obviously feeling it more than I am. And she's like, hey, can you, like, we're walking distance. It's a straight shot, like straight down the neighborhood street. Yeah. And she goes, hey, can you drive back? I'm like, yeah, cool. So I drive back. Then she's like, okay, I'm about to go home. I go, no, you're not. Like, no, I'm about to go home. I say, you wanted me to drive the straight shot 7 blocks. You're not getting on the highway. Like, at this point, like her parents hadn't even met me yet. So I'm like, you come home stumbling, they see this, or God forbid something happens, even if it's not fatal. What is our first interaction going to be? Wow, you let my daughter leave your house like this? Like how much you actually care about? I'm like, no, you're staying here tonight.
Yeah.
Like you're not leaving.
Right.
You can't leave. So yeah, bro, like that is one of those weird things, and it's another story that I won't tell about. Like, hey, no, you're too drunk to leave here. You know what? Honestly, shorty, you're too drunk to get in an Uber. Like, I know you're good here. I'll take you home in the morning.
Yeah.
You want to sleep like head to toe. You want to sleep on the couch. Like like now you're here. I'm looking at you with the lights on. Nah, bro.
Deer in headlights.
Yeah, bro. Hey, take your ass to sleep, dog. I promise you won't get touched. Raggedy.
Hey, we're giving Chris Olave the ball.
But yeah, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit, like, since we're finally done with the Falcons and all this other stuff. I kind of want to talk about offense being down in the NFL. Like, it's an offensive league, right?
It is an offensive league, and the rules are certainly set up for there to be points scored. But I think another thing, kind of like I believe you did it with last year, the year of the running back, right? We did have a renaissance of running backs where there were 12 guys that maybe got 1,000 yards, maybe it was more. But because you're running the ball, obviously more time is going to come off the clock. A lot more situational football is getting played. It's not getting aired out. And this is what I'll say too. We got a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL. How many guys are really just slingers, though? There aren't very many. Name the slingers.
How many of these quote-unquote good quarterbacks you actually believe in? Because some people have Trevor Lawrence in their top 5, and I'm a Trevor Lawrence fan. But
He's top 10. I think he's top 10. He's not my top 5, but he's top 10. He's on that back end of the 10.
But do I believe in Trevor Lawrence week in and week out? No, he just threw what should have been a bad pick to Marshawn Lattimore.
Let me tell you, I have more faith in Trevor Lawrence than I do Justin Herbert.
I was going to get there. I saw it in the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence threw 3 picks and still won that game.
I have more faith in him than I do him. And I think that obviously he's got a little bit more talent. They got to go for this, I think.
Yeah, they are. But just think about it. Who can you actually count on? Mahomes?
I put Taysom in under center and make him make the decision. If he can make the throw, make the throw. But obviously, if not, power run. But
who do you believe in? Mahomes?
Burrow. If it came down to it, I believe in Joe Burrow. I'm going to be honest with you, too, and people won't agree with this. I believe in Matt Stafford, too.
I was about to say healthy Stafford. He's going to be my number 3.
Yeah, I kind of believe in Matt. And he looks fine this year. He's turned the ball over a little bit more, but the team's not as talented.
But that's Matthew Stafford, too.
Yeah, but he looks better. He doesn't look like last year. It looked like his career was over with. I used to believe in Russell Wilson, honestly. I used to, because he used to would be pretty clutch. I don't believe in Russell Wilson anymore.
You don't.
Obviously, if Aaron Rodgers is on the field, I believe in him. I like Lamar Jackson, but I don't believe in him yet. I don't believe in him.
He makes a bad throw.
I don't believe in Josh Allen either. And I like Josh Allen. I'm big on Josh Allen, right? But he hasn't shown it in the playoffs yet. There's nothing he's shown me in the playoffs that makes me, they could have beat the Chiefs that one year. That game could have the back and forth game. That was one of the best championship games we've ever seen.
Yeah.
That game could have went either way. Don't believe in Kirk Cousins when the lights are on.
Dak Prescott, no.
Don't believe in Dak. There's very few people that you can actually believe in. And like I said, it's pretty much just Burrow, Mahomes, Stafford. That's it.
Exactly. Call me crazy, though. In the era of the let's go 2010s, I don't like this quarterback, but in a big moment, you could believe in Eli Manning.
Yeah, he proved it time and time again.
In a big moment, you could believe in Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, obviously. Peyton Manning, obviously. Drew Brees, honestly. Matt Ryan.
I believed in Matt because Matt, outside of early in his career, those early playoff losses that he took, he grew from that stuff.
Well,
he would make those. That's why he had the nickname Matty Ice. There were several games I remember. Do you remember the Chicago Bears game?
You remember the Ravens game?
And the Ravens. Both of those games were basically the same games. He made
plays.
We're talking about fucking 12 seconds with the ball at your 20. And he's making that throw to Roddy. He's making that throw.
Yes.
Matt was surgical.
There was a time where there were about 8 or 9, maybe 10 quarterbacks. In the right year, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. Okay.
Andrew Luck. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. Big Ben.
Big Ben.
But today, it's the day of the offense, and we talk about how much better quarterback play is. I just think quarterback stats are better, but the actual play of the quarterbacks is not where
they're more skilled because they're more versatile. Like,
but I also with the more skill, sometimes doesn't mean better. You know what I mean? Like Kyrie Irving is probably the most skilled basketball player to walk the face of this earth.
his bag is deeper than anyone's.
But
for sure.
but I could name off 20, 30, 40 basketball players better than Kyrie Irving without giving it much thought.
Really? Before we get, because I know we're going to get to the NBA with the rankings, and obviously that's what we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but I'm just
come on.
I'm not I'm not saying current players. I'm saying like history of the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh hell no. Like,
Well, they had him like 32, but we'll get to this.
Well, they're stupid, and they don't like him. Just like Ja being out of the top 15 is nuts, but they don't like him.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook not being on the Ringers top 100 list at all, but they got Norm Powell on the list. Come on, man, throw the list away. Shea Gilgeous being, I'm sorry, I know this ain't basketball. Shea Gilgeous over LeBron, bro. Shea Gilgeous,
that's nuts.
He got
was he throwing the ball to? But that's nuts.
Yeah, bro. Shea Gilgeous got put out in the play-in. Stop it. You know what I mean? So, like, yes, the skill is better, but I think with the 7-on-7 culture, the quarterbacks are no longer football players. They're quarterback. Because if you think about it, Sam Darnold, now not a good pro quarterback. Sam Darnold was a linebacker at one point in his high school football career.
Right.
He was a football player. You know what I mean? Like he got hit. He didn't wear a red jersey his entire life. And these guys weren't specializing in just quarterback. They played baseball, they played basketball, they wrestled, they played other sports. You know what I mean? Where now it's all year round, you're a quarterback. You've never gotten hit in your life. I'm willing to bet Trevor Lawrence has gotten hit more times in the NFL than he got hit in his entire life leading up to it.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. And I mean, you can't run the same scheme as everyone else because you make it easy for the defense. But I'm sure a new rule will come in to get the points back up because, you know, Roger, he likes the points and he likes his money.
Yeah. It'll be something like he can't jam at the line.
Did you see that new Roger contract?
Oh, yeah. He's stupid paid. Yeah, he's stupid paid. But, you know, the operation's running smooth. They're making more money every year. So isn't that how people get raises? He's the one that's running the operation for everybody. You typically get a raise when you're doing a good job.
3 years, $700 million raise. I mean, contract. Come on, 3 years, $700 million. You know, Roger Goodell, he can be stupid with his money. He could not invest at all.
He might as well stop being a commissioner and then try and become an owner.
The way he's going, you know.
And somehow I'll be like, well, Roger, you already ran the league. What are your thoughts on this team? How can this team get better? What would you do? Like, he can consult, right? Like,
do you think Roger Goodell is a good commissioner or the NFL is a good product and he just happens to be?
The NFL is a well-oiled machine. It was going to be hard. I think that you can fuck it up. Somebody can fuck it up. And he certainly has had his moments where he could have fucked it up with his handling of situations, right? But I think all in all, he's a man that knows what's good for business. And what's good for business is whatever it is I have to do, whether I agree with it or not. Even for him, people can say what they want to say, but obviously, in my opinion, the halftime shows have gotten better, right? So him getting Hove involved.
Hove did.
Getting Hove involved was a good idea. It was a good idea. Players, obviously, a lot of people grew up listening to Jay-Z's music, and like, he's a businessman himself. He's a good person to have brought along with your brand. And
Hove said, we got to get beyond kneeling.
Right. He's like, why are we here? He's like, do you know why he's kneeling? Do you know why he's kneeling? He's like, well, past that.
And honestly, I loved it. I thought that was the right answer. Like, you keep showing solidarity, but when are you actually going to take action?
which is what it was about. It was about taking action, and that's why in racism is still in the end zone at Falcons games.
Yeah, no, Roger got his money. Based on what the league is bringing in, I think he deserves his money, but it's crazy that he's made more money than any player has. But that's what comes with leadership. And I think too often we have people commenting on their issues with leadership who have never been in leadership.
Yeah.
Because me, as a guy professionally, I've been in leadership my entire professional career, right? Like the first day I showed up, I was responsible for about 30 people and a bunch of money and all this stuff. I ain't know shit. They knew everything. I had to learn enough to properly lead and guide them.
Yeah.
But also, if they messed something up, they didn't get called. I got called.
Right.
And I could say, man, I was gone for 2 weeks and y'all didn't give me a cell phone or a computer that I could hook up on a separate network. So I could not work. Doesn't matter. Your person did this. I actually remember I got a talking to about decisions that some of my people made in their personal lives. And I go, excuse me? I was at home or I was at the bar. I wasn't there. Oh, well, you've had a couple of people who've made bad decisions. So it's like, well, what are you doing down there? Nothing. But because you're in leadership, you get paid more. You carry a bigger burden. So not to knock the quote unquote workers or the guy on the factory line, and I don't mean literally the factory line, but the guy who is just there to do a job and you're only responsible for yourself. The person who carries the burden is going to get paid more. The person who takes the risk gets paid more. Like your boy Caleb Williams asking for a piece of ownership, for one, that's against the CBA. Two, what have you done in this league? Nothing. Tom Brady's the part owner of the Las Vegas, not New England. Like, yes, that's somebody who they go, you know what, Tom, your last contract, let's give you ownership. John Elway had the opportunity for ownership with Denver. He turned it down, but he had that opportunity. Why? He brought them 2 Super Bowls. He was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He brought in so much money to that franchise. Yeah.
Kansas City.
Somebody like LeBron James. Michael Jordan. These are guys who deserved ownership based off of what they contributed to those places because they brought in so much revenue. Caleb Williams, you haven't won a championship.
Well, and your hype, although some people are trying to suck this guy off, your hype isn't your hype. You're not. It's not a LeBron James level hype. Like LeBron, right? LeBron had all the hype in the world. I don't think in our lifetime, at least, we've never seen anyone have that kind of hype. And who's had that type of hype?
Hey, babe.
Zion does.
Hey, babe.
Oh, well, I don't even know if his hype is the same as LeBron's, but certainly there's a lot of sucking. And we'll get to the NBA list soon because he's already ahead of a lot of people too, which is weird because he hasn't played an NBA game. But they might be faking this again. They're not gonna fake it. But point man, even a guy like LeBron James couldn't just demand a piece of ownership or say that before even playing he hadn't even played. What the fuck?
Well, here's the thing. You're an athlete. You're not a banker, a lawyer, a doctor where something tragic will happen if your skills are not received. The NFL is still going to rake in billions of dollars if Caleb Williams holds out and goes back to college. If Caleb Williams says, I will not sign with a team who does not give me ownership, well, Caleb Williams, you just won't play football anymore, and football will be fine.
I tell you what, Jim Irsay said it best during the Jonathan Taylor saga at the start of the season. He said that he could die, and he said that the NFL is going to move on. He said, and then of course he had to flip it on himself. He said, "I died. The NFL is moving on."
Hey, and the Colts will still be a cash cow if Jim Irsay doesn't wake up in the morning.
Yeah, and his kids are going to be straight.
Exactly. So, to me, it reeks of entitlement. I hope it's not true. I hope it was something that was said in passing. I hope that it was misquoted, taken out of context.
Sounds like something his camp saying, like his dad maybe type shit. Like, you know how guys are like,
or maybe it's like, hey man, on the back end we want some ownership, and they just took the one little piece of it. Said, oh, Caleb Williams wants ownership. Oh, that is true if they said that. But come on, man, you ain't even made this man no money yet. Like just the idea, Parlay Pete. Imagine. You get a highly skilled worker who wants to come to Loader Express. Mm-hmm. Maybe the best worker you've ever had submit an application. And he goes, well, in order for me to actually accept what you offer me at Loader Express, I need 1%.
Yeah, I'm going to say, of what?
You need 1%. You need a 1% pay bump?
from what everybody got? Sure.
I mean, you got the skills that say it's you should be highly compensated.
Yeah.
No, I need 1% of the company. Oh man, you better find a new job, big dog.
I tell you what, we'll be in touch. I'll let you know when we're done with the interview process. Like,
I told somebody, I said, man, if I'm an owner, not a scout, not a GM, if I'm an owner and I can validate this, oh, he's off my draft board. I don't want somebody that delusional and that entitled in my building.
Well, ego. What makes you think you deserve this?
Yeah, I don't want you in my building because guess what? Not only does the NFL just make money hand over fist, we collectively bargain and we revenue share. So you know what that means? If I have a down year, I get some of Jerry Jones's money.
Right.
I'm still in the black.
The Bengals, the cheapest people, we make the same amount.
I'm still in the black.
Everybody that's selling out Heinz Field, well, I guess it's not Heinz Field anymore, but everybody that's selling that shit out, yeah, I get a piece of it too.
And it goes to the Deshaun Watson contract. What type of precedent are we setting? Because guess what? If it were allowed in the CBA, do you know the other owners are going to look to out me? Yeah, they're going to leak the text messages. They're going to leak the emails.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm losing my franchise.
TMZ's going to get their hands on some photos.
Oh, Florio's going to get everything. Rap Sheet's going to get everything.
This guy sucks.
Shannon Sharp might break a story.
Look at that. Foyer scoring.
Yeah, I saw it.
Former Falcon there, guys.
You know what? I was upset that we let him go, but the way our defense...
He's a tackling machine.
Yeah, but the way our defense is playing, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're at 58 minutes. How do you want to stretch out these last few minutes? I want to get it to like an hour on the dot. And my drop.
Well, in conclusion.
You know what? Don't conclude it. I got something for you. Did you hear what Joe Manchin said, the senator?
No. What did he say?
He said it's hard to root for guys who are making millions in their freshman and sophomore years. Talking about NIL. Caleb Williams types of the world. Not money he's spending, but just, money overall.
Right. Who's got the best real defense?
I don't know. I should have picked them up and just played them. I'm sure they might be free agents, man.
Dr. Umar's building fund. So
probably,
who knows? Jude might be trying to gun for a victory this week.
Who does he have?
He's got Nico. You realize in our fantasy league that our entire side of the division outside of Jude is pretty much going to have a winning record, and two of us are not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I want to get like the Big Ten once USC gets there. No division.
Well, this is what's gonna end up happening at the end of the year. If a fourth team on our side has a better record than whoever wins the other side, we're gonna have to do away with a division winner. It needs to just be one league, like one. And then we don't need a division.
Yeah, I don't like it, and I also just want to put it out there through 6 weeks. I have the third highest scoring team after being shitted on after the draft, and I didn't have.
Mercer's also on your team.
I did not have my first overall, my first pick, second overall in the draft, in week 1. Just throwing that out there.
Hey, look, my first 2 picks didn't play together.
You should be going on a run.
I know, I am. I'm about to, because we're about to play that shitty. You realize that, like, nobody in our division, we don't play each other anymore. We've all played each other. We played that side the entire rest of the way. My team's about to keep winning games. I'm going to keep winning games because now I've got 3 RB1s. I have 3 guys healthy that all would have been taken in the top 10. All of them would have been taken in the top 10.
Yeah, no, and I think my
top 2. So really, I have 4 guys on my team that are all top 10 picks.
And with the trade that we're scheduled to make on Tuesday, my receiver strategy is working. The Jameson Williams showed me what I was looking for. I knew I was going to have to get off one of my guys, and it's like, I don't know, bro. This fantasy shit is fun.
It is. It's GMing, you know.
And at the end of the day, what it really boils down to is that, despite not having a championship, I feel like Jim Harbaugh.
No, it's funny. Me and Justice talked about this too. Literally, when you look at it, the teams that typically make the playoffs are me, you, and him.
Yes, and I was about to say that.
We're the constants. Outside of 1 year, I've made the playoffs every fucking year.
And I really hate that I lost that championship to Dale because Amon-Ra St. Brown finally had his coming out party. And it's like, hey, what are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, because Dale had no business winning a championship.
No, he didn't. And
he really didn't.
Just as a football tape guy, I love Dale. But Dale, you don't deserve to win our league because when we talk sports, one, you don't really say much. You just kind of bash Julian's political opinions. Won't get in that one. But it's like, dude, no. I was supposed to win this championship so that when we have these upper level conversations, I get to speak as a champion.
Yeah.
Because Josh Holsey's team sucks.
He's been carried by AJ Brown and Keenan Allen out of nowhere is just looking like the best receiver in the league.
Mike Williams is hurt.
I know.
Is Mike Williams on my bench in this team? Or
yeah. But think about it. They're not using Quentin Johnson, who they drafted in the first round out of TCU.
It bothers me because I went after him and shit, I think it's in our league. Did I go after him in our league? Let me see. Yeah, I got him because I'm like, oh yeah, no, he's gonna be the guy. They're gonna start phasing the old guys out. Mike Williams on IR. Oh yeah, Keenan Johnson. No, nothing.
Yeah, no. Like I'm sure you watched the Monday night game. I mean, they don't even throw him the ball. Like he's not. Joshua Palmer gets the ball more than him. Hell, and I know that it was X's first game back from injury, but I was a little upset with the way that they were using him. I'm like, I get it. Dallas is going to stop the run. But I'm like, can we get X the ball a little bit more?
Hey, how about in one of my other leagues, somebody offered me Geno Smith and Michael Pittman Jr. for Tua.
Geno Smith and Michael Pittman Jr. for Tua. No.
Bro, I didn't even
if Geno was a slightly bit like if in a
last
if I tell you what, if it was Joe Burrow, right, who started off really shaky, he's kind of right at the ship, you make that type of trade, yeah, we can do it. Let's do it. But like, is Tua number one? Is he the number one? No, Josh Allen's number one, right? Who's number one? Let me see. Tua's the third best quarterback in fantasy. Yeah. So
like, what are you doing? Like you gotta send the mothership over for me to give up the third best quarterback.
Well, when you start having quarterbacks that are averaging 20 points and it's a lock every week, I mean, That's why the appeal for me for Lamar Jackson, because I know that you need a running back, right? I know you do. And I'm willing to part with, of my 3 guys, my number 3, in order to upgrade, because quarterback has been a position I haven't had. It's been a revolving door. Deshaun Watson's hurt. Dak's playing shitty. He finally showed up, but Dak's playing shitty. I luckily somehow got Jared Goff off waiver. I don't know why the fuck Jared Goff was sitting in waiver wires, but Jared Goff, you look at it, he's number 4 in fantasy. Now,
that's why I told you, hey, bro, I need Goff.
The issue with Goff is that
I'm gonna have some bad
games. Well, Lamar has more upside at the end of the day. He runs the ball. So, like, that's appealing to me because his legs alone will salvage games always, right? Now, he could have a clunker of a game, and, of course, there's always the injury thought. He's been injured the last 2 years. He could easily get injured. But I like the upside of it. Especially if you like the Ravens as a team, then you got to love it. This guy, Derek Carr, sucks.
Don't get me wrong. Like, parting ways with Lamar is hard.
Well, it's for the betterment of your team. And like I said, you're technically getting a higher-ranked quarterback anyways. It's the same deal I made with Dill. When I traded Dill, Kittle, and Kyron Williams to get Derrick Henry, I looked at it at, obviously, Kyron Williams getting hurt. I win that trade already. They got to go for this.
Kyron Williams was on the fucking waivers this past week.
What do you mean? Not on waivers.
No. Well, some running back from the Rams was on waivers this week.
I picked him up. I'm mad because I didn't do a waiver, but I'm actually kind of happy I didn't because I kept my order in the waiver wire. I picked up what's his face, but JP is such a fool. He dropped Miles Sanders, so I'm dropping Royce Freeman to pick up Miles Sanders, and I feel comfortable telling you.
Have you already put it in?
Huh?
Have you already put it in?
Yeah, I'm ahead of you on the waiver wire. That's why I feel comfortable telling you because I'm gonna end up getting him. Watch, and so.
Oh no, bro! Like I was so pissed because I went to go grab Julio. Just
he dropped him but he dropped Miles Sanders for Julio, and I'm like, why? Why would you drop a starting running back?
I was just going after Julio to see if I could get Josh to really start touching himself. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, because this guy is sold on the Eagles' offense, and he missed
an offer for Devontae Smith.
Josh is letting his fandom take over. Josh is turning into Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
A lot of success early. But now you're just falling in love with your team too much, man. But hey, guys, that's hour 1. I was trying to stretch to an hour on the dot, and we stretched to like 10 more minutes, but it's okay.
Well, when guys start talking about their fantasy football league, and obviously we've got cash prize on it, and of course, last place this year we finally have got, that's on the line too for the loser. So it's we of course we can stretch it out over 10 minutes doing that. We can have a whole fucking show about it. As a matter of fact, we do, guys. It's called the Parlay Pete or the AC Lee and Parlay Pete NFL Fantasy Draft Show.
Yeah, like I am looking forward to Julian Turner putting on a cheerleading outfit. I want him to bring those pom-poms to Atlanta. I don't think he should do it in DC. I think this should be an Atlanta thing.
Yeah.
Like tie it up with one of the weekends that you're down here because you're down here.
You want to know what we should do too? Let's put it in front of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let's go over there by the Big Bird. Let's get it in front of the Benz. Huh?
Golly, that would hurt so much.
I know. Let's get it in front of the Benz.
Here's another punishment that I'm kind of into is the loser having to get a custom jersey of the winner's favorite team.
Oh, I'd love that.
With their first initial and last name on the back. And you actually have to you got to wear it in public with the group. And then also post that picture on Instagram and tag them in it, and we run on the story.
Yeah.
Like, I got last place in my fantasy league. So-and-so won it. I'm wearing his jersey because he's my favorite player.
Yeah. Because he owns my team. All
right, guys. Hour 1. So, Parlay Pete, we're at hour 2. Where do you want to go with this? Do you want to go NBA? Do you want to go college football?
We got to go association. There's so much going on. Preseason, I think, ended tonight. I think it's ending tonight. And of course, we got basketball. We got NBA tip-off ball Tuesday. We gotta go league. We get the kickoff too. Think about it. That opening game is the Lakers in Denver. That's the early game. We get to see that. Of course, Mike Malone, LeBron James, and all the shit that was talked ever since that series ended. Good stuff, fascinating stuff, especially because a lot of people believe, Phoenix, of course, is going to be, for whatever reason, they're going to be the favorite out of the West, right? They're going to be the favorite. And then Denver probably follows the second. And then the Lakers are probably third in terms of in the West of how it's going to go. That's pretty much how everybody looks at it. So
hold on, let me see. Let me see what Vegas is.
The Lakers are probably third in odds to win the West. They're probably third. It's LeBron and AD still. And they retained that team was cooking when they put together that nucleus, and then they added guys still. They upgraded positions too. Christian Wood, you brought in Caleb Martin, right? They got Caleb Martin.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, I got them pulled up from it's an SI article. I don't know what book they went to, but we got Boston plus 380, Milwaukee plus 380, Denver plus 550, Phoenix plus 550, Lakers plus 1300, Golden State plus 1400, Cleveland.
Yeah, so they're third. The Lakers are third out of the West.
I don't like the Celtics being the favorite to win the championship, honestly.
They don't have a bench, but they're 5. I don't think that there's a better 5 than their 5, including Phoenix.
I think in crunch time, in a close game, there are teams who will beat the Celtics.
Well, Milwaukee is the team a lot of people are hoping would be the ones, because that's Dame time, right? Like, you know what I mean? It is. So
Dame is not in the freak time though.
Got the first down. Can we get Chris Olave in the end zone? You think they can get it to him?
Can we get Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth back together? Al Michaels deserves better than Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah, because it feels like
Kirk Dallas prep for Saturday, and he shows up Wednesday, does his interviews, and then calls the game.
Right.
But no, seriously, maybe because Boston hasn't been worth a damn my entire life. I know they won the championship in 2008, but I didn't grow up watching the 80 Celtics. I damn sure didn't grow up watching the Bill Russell Celtics.
Yeah.
I don't believe in Boston as a top-notch organization like people our parents' age would, because they haven't been that in my life.
And especially since Danny left. Ainge kind of left his imprint, and it was a he brought over that 80s pride with him too, right? And Danny Ainge he's a deal maker. Like, he's a deal maker. That's what he does.
Danny Ainge, I as a fantasy owner, I trade like Danny Ainge. I offer a lot of shit, and people hang up when I call.
Yeah.
It takes personal text for me to get a deal done, right? Because I'm like Danny Ainge. If you're going to let me fleece you, I'm going to fleece you. Now, the problem is I actually try to fleece the people who are smart. I don't fleece people like Dale, or I'm always like a day late on Julian Turner, because, Julian is selling his team. And
surprised that we looked at it and we're like, this looks like fucking collusion if I've ever seen it, because I'm like, this trade doesn't make any sense.
And Dale's not happy about it. Dale's threatening to leave the league. Not that anybody would lose sleep, but
why didn't he veto the trade then?
Can't speak on that.
All he had to do is press veto. If he pressed veto, literally that trade wouldn't have happened.
And that trade almost got me to be ready to veto, because again, I've said it on this pod.
Yeah, if that trade's between them, you're not going to step in.
If they want to be, if somebody wants to be stupid, Let him be stupid. But with Julian being 0-5, 0-6, maybe he was 0, I think it was 0-5 when he made that trade. That's where I start to care. Because
Exactly.
he's good at fantasy.
Exactly. And that's pretty much, where me and Justice came in. We talked about it. We're just like, look, in what world does the number one fantasy quarterback get traded along with George Pickens, who was ranked 13th at wide receiver, which in a 12-man league, that would mean that he's the best wide receiver too in the league. In what world do you trade the number one quarterback, number 13 wide receiver, a starting running back in Miles Sanders, and you get back Josh Jacobs of all of his running backs? You didn't get Travis Etienne. You took his second best running back, who hasn't been even having a good year like that. And then you took the fucking Browns, a guy you never heard of before. You literally had never heard of him until Nick Chubb gets hurt. Like, you've never heard of Jerome Ford. I knew who he was because he was Desmond Ritter's running back in Cincinnati. But that was the trade, though. And then you trade Devin Akane. He was my last pick in the draft because there was a part of me, I hate that I dropped him, of course, the week before he went off. But I drafted him because I said there's potential for him to be the starting running back here, and he's fast. You trade for Devin Akane, a guy who, even when he comes back from injury reserve, he's not the starting running back. They're going to be Mostert, Jeff Wilson. Those guys are going to be splitting the ball. They're not like – and that's a passing offense anyways, in my opinion. It's more of a passing offense than a running offense. You traded him for the number one pick in the draft. Make it make sense. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why didn't you get a running back that's going to play? Why would you trade a player that's going to be sitting just as long? Does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't. And
your team right now, and you need to win games right now.
And JP's into the fleece job because when we were talking trades, yeah, guys, we're talking fantasy again. Get over it. When we were talking trades, and I told him, yeah, just send me over James Cook. He asked me Jacobs or Cook. I said, yeah, send Cook over.
Cook for who?
Well, Mike Evans was in the trade, and I'm like, no, I'll give you T. Higgins. I get it. T. Higgins hasn't been good this year. He's been hurt. But you're not getting Mr. 1,000 yards, Mr. 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, the model of consistency at that position in the NFL, the most consistent player of the last decade.
And to try to dirty my name, you want to bring that up in the fleece jobs. Don't get me wrong. I submit terrible trades. Awful trades. But that was not on that level. I subbed that because he added another player that I was not really interested in. But I'm like, okay, I see you're trying to sweeten the pot. If you're trying to sweeten the pot with this guy, okay. You get T. Higgins. You don't get Mike Evans.
What a dumbass play call.
Yeah. Like when we were talking trades, hey man, if you're going to trade, ask for Brandon Ayuk. Hell, DJ Moore was available before his crazy game. Like I was like, hey man, DJ Moore, hey, come get him. Come get him.
They're really about to kick a field goal?
No, they just scored.
Oh, okay. Who did it?
Taysom.
Damn.
But it's just one of those things like, dog, I'm not giving you Mike Evans for – like, there's no way I give you Mike Evans for James Cook. James Cook is inconsistent. The Buffalo's run game is inconsistent. You're not getting that. But back to the association. James Harden, allegedly in Houston, hasn't participated in preseason games, hasn't really scrimmaged. He wants out. He wants to go to the Clippers. Does Philly get off of James Harden, or does James Harden keep taking these fines? Because now they're fining him.
Well, the Clippers are idiots because based on the rumor, at least what Nick Wright said that they offered that the Sixers offered Harden for Terrence Mann, a first-round pick, and then a pick swap. Done deal. I don't even think twice about it. How is a role player the hold up in a trade? Like, because you know that he wants out and you want to get something in return. But
I will tell you, if Nick Wright said that, it's true. He considers Daryl Morey a friend.
Yeah, Nick Wright said it.
So
that was the offer, and he said that the Clippers declined it.
maybe the Clippers believe in what Terrence Mann brings on defense.
You want to know what I think it is? I think it's more of this. The Clippers know that this is really kind of the last year, and they don't want to be, even though if it is going to be the last year, if anything, wouldn't you want the books to be reset? Both Kawhi and Paul George can walk after this year, and obviously Harden would be on the last year of his deal. So they could all just walk after this season if it doesn't work.
They're opening a new arena, though. They open a new arena next year. They don't want to open it without stars.
Well, look, Ballmer's needs to use some of that Microsoft magic and get Clippy, to show up to these people's doors and say, look, this is Microsoft money, guys. I was like, you guys ever use Windows? And then he look at him and he's like, yeah, I'm an inventor of it. Yeah. So you get, every time you ever use it, you had to type a paper up on your mom's fucking desktop, your laptop, anything like that. Remember, I helped you do it. And I want you to get a piece of it too.
Hove did.
Because this ain't money that I'm getting from fans buying Clippers tickets. No. This is my Microsoft money. This is how I bought the team. I bought the team because I'm Microsoft too. Bill Gates get all the credit, but I'm Microsoft too.
He overpaid and paid cash.
Yeah.
Hold on. He overpaid for a multi-billion-dollar franchise cash. Can you imagine being billions of cash liquid?
It's nuts.
I was talking to some guys at work the other day, and I don't play the lottery, but when the Mega Millions gets close to $1 billion, I buy a couple tickets.
Yeah, well, I absolutely bought. I bought $20 worth of tickets, so 10 tickets.
And I tell people, I said, man, look here. If I were to ever hit that, you hit for 800, you probably walk away with like 350, right?
Yeah.
All right, wife, what house do you want? Just tell me which house you want. All right, cool. We're gonna buy that. But for the next month, me and the guys, we're going on a international bender.
Yes.
I don't know where we're going. We will make that decision.
Figure it out every step of the way.
Every single day. I'm probably gonna say, hey guys, meet in Vegas. Send me your information. This assistant that I just hired yesterday is booking the flights. We're gonna start in Vegas. Tell your families, tell everybody, tell your jobs, tell everybody you love. You won't be back for 30 days. Get your kids. 30 days.
Yeah.
We're traveling the world.
We're hitting every international scene that there is to hit. But that's literally was my first thought too. I was like, man, the first thing I do is I just set sail. I would, and I already try to travel now as much as I can, but I would really hit that harder. I'd hit it way harder than I'm hitting it now.
Because again, that's not even fuck you money. That's shut the fuck up money. That is, hey mom, here's $5 million. Leave me alone. Figure out what you're gonna like. Do what you want.
Fun, but don't bother me. I'll check in, make sure you're okay. I'll tell you I'm okay.
Yeah,
I got some business to attend to.
Yeah. Hey, wife, don't ask about the trip. We're going on a trip too. Wherever you want to go, wherever you want to do. Then when I get back from the trip, but hire the good financial advisor who's going to jerk me and take way higher of a percentage than they actually need. But I don't feel like doing the research just so I can stay rich.
Right.
And then you know what? We start paying for listings for this podcast. We do all the bullshit work, and then it starts to make millions of dollars. And I don't punch the clock ever again.
Yeah.
I kind of just do what I want.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about less than $1 billion. Ball paid multiple billions
for a basketball team, not a football team. Matter of fact, for the number 2 show in town.
Cash money billions.
The number 2 show in town. That town will never, nigga, the Clippers could win 4 in a row coming up. They're never going to reach they're not the Lakers.
we talk about some of the stuff that we deal with in our personal lives that we don't like to, but we deal with it.
Yeah.
What do you say to Balmer? Hey, Steve, I didn't like how you. Like how what? You want to finish that statement?
Are you saying from the perspective of a player or from what perspective? Or anyone? You're just saying anyone.
The woman who lives in his house and reaps all the benefits of being his most important significant other.
Oh,
Whether it's his wife.
he didn't have shit to say. She
You know
can't
what I'm
say
saying?
anything. She can't say anything unless she's as good as Jeff Bezos' wife, because
Like
Nick-
the whole
she's a fucking winner. But like,
I don't like how you go to the games, get drunk, and are yelling. And you come home and I hate it.
well, I tell you what,
You want a different home?
I don't have to. I don't have to come home to this anymore. You can go somewhere else, and I'll continue to still come home. How about that? That way, it solves the problem. You don't have to see it anymore.
I'll see you in the morning.
I don't have to hear about it anymore. It sounds like is that sounds like a win-win to me. What do you think? Like,
Hey, we can still do breakfast every morning. We can still do dinner 3 days a week. But nah, I'm going to the games for the team that I pay for. And I'm going to consume as much as I want.
yep.
And I'm not going to hear your mouth.
I'm gonna sit in my owner's box and I'm gonna sit on the floor. They're all in the same game.
Just depends on depends on who shows up.
Yeah.
If my less rich friends want to come hang out, I'll go hang out with those peasants. And I will spend money on them in a way that they're not comfortable. I mean, think about it though. Like you're Elon Musk, right? You're a Jeff Bezos. You're a Bill Gates. You're a Balmer.
You're a Zuck.
Zuck the cuck. Like if you're one of those people, you can spend money on your rich friends, your way lesser rich friends, because most of your friends are going to be way less richer than you, in a way that makes them uncomfortable. Hey guys, I just booked us this $2 million vacation. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, what you want on it? Come on, man. It's $2 million.
Yeah.
You know how many millions I have?
Hey man, just whatever the girl asks you when she asks you what you want, just please tell her what it is. Don't hold back.
Yeah.
Because that's I didn't pay for you to hold back.
No.
I bet some of the guys, the lesser known, really rich, like wealthy people, bro, I bet they go on stupid fucking benders. Like, and I'm talking drug, alcohol. I'm not even gonna say prostitutes or anything, but like
women
in general, yeah, escort, whatever it is. I just know that these guys, like I know that I have walked past somebody in Las Vegas that's like that. I know that I have.
I lived in the
Middle East. I didn't know who the fuck they were though, right? Like
I lived in the Middle East for a year.
Oh, well, yeah, princes and shit. What in the fuck is Derek Carr doing?
Playing bad football. Who is he yelling at?
Chris Olave. He's telling him to run.
Derek Carr, you threw the ball to the third row.
Let's just see.
I mean, I know we spent way too much time on this, but I'd have a crazy pad in the Hamptons, a crazy pad in Calabasas.
I need a mountain home too.
Yeah, I let the wife pick that one. Pick the mountains you want. It's yours. I'd have me a stupid Atlanta crib. And while I'm gone, I'm Airbnb-ing these things out to rich people who want to throw stupid parties.
Yeah.
I mean, what would run me broke would be real estate. But then I wouldn't be broke.
Those are assets. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But I would spend so much of my money on like, hey, I want a house here. So when I come here, I can do whatever I want. I probably have I would have a really nice car, but I would have a driver.
Well, we're going, yeah, well, of course, you got to have that, right? But, you start talking about, look, Drake got one, I'm getting one. I got the plane now. Fuck a first class. What is first class? They get my plane.
Hey, how long is it gonna take you to DM Drea?
Oh, I'm gonna send for her. I'll find somebody that has her information, and I'm just gonna send for her and say, "Meet me here."
Hey, meet me in
Show me that the pressure's real, because it's like, hold on, are you hitting on me without even knowing me? There is no time for that. I don't have time for that. Come on, get it, loser.
Meet me in Dubai in your freshest mint swim. That's you, right?
We just bought the whole stock out. I just gifted it to every woman in my life that I know. And I told them to give some to their friends too.
Hey, here's the other thing. I need you to sign it though. No. You take a Sharpie and you sign it. I tell you what, man, when they talk about money makes people assholes, I sit here and go, no, it just turns assholes into dicks.
Yeah.
It brings the thoughts out of your head to your mouth, boss.
Yeah, I'd be a fool. Nobody will really want to see me. Man, no. That shit.
I look at it like, bro, like I look at it just, if I, as much as I want to like bash James Harden, I go, man, this dude doesn't sound like 3 maxes. He done signed over $200 million on the shoe contract. He has, he's a high 100 millionaire.
Yeah. I don't think that was a PI, by the way.
I don't either. Daryl Morey, don't play with me. Don't hey man, come on now. I could pay you to be my assistant and you'll make more than you making right now, right?
That's another part of it too. These guys in the league, they're making so much money to where, but we're gonna see if James wants to put his money where his mouth is, because we saw, what was that dollar figure? 385, 386 a game that he'll miss.
Something like that. It's a lot of money. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
389
for every preseason and regular season game he's missed without the consent of the 76ers.
What?
If the Sixers say he can't miss, it's 389.
That's a tough decision to make. I don't give a fuck how much I hate somebody. I'm not going to miss out on $389,000 a game because I don't like somebody. I'd rather show up and look disinterested.
Gilbert Arenas talked about that. He goes, if I'm running a team, why would I want this guy around my team, especially in regular season games? He has a track record of being who he is. If he don't care,
he did it in Houston at the end. I mean, he was playing in those games, and then there was the news that he was going to get traded to Brooklyn.
He did it in Brooklyn too. Once he got tired of Kyrie not taking the vaccine, like, hey, bro, we can't win a championship without you.
Well, more importantly, I didn't come here to fucking just play with KD, nigga. Like, I came here to play with both of y'all.
And so, like, here's the sad thing about the James Harden piece, right? It looks
they gave that to him. That was not first down.
Yeah, it's not for first down. It's 4th and inches.
Yeah, but it wasn't that close either. He was shorter than that.
The James Harden thing, it looks so bad optically, but everything, all his decisions made sense. Short.
Here's the thing. I don't want the Saints to win. I just need them to score another touchdown.
I have an issue with teams trying to run the ball on 4th down out of the shotgun.
You know, right?
Yeah. But the James Harden thing, right? Houston decided they didn't want to be good anymore. They brought in Boogie Cousins and John Wall. Bruh, get me out of here. The last thing I need to do is win a championship. Give me somewhere where I can win a championship. Then the Brooklyn thing happens. Hey, bro, Kyrie ain't gonna take the vax, and he gonna be public about it, so he can't even get the vax card like a lot of other people. We can't win a championship like that. Hey, bro, get me out of here.
Yeah.
Philly, hey, you offered me the max. You told me you're gonna give me the max. Just play ball and I give you the max. Now you don't want to give the max. Nah, bro, I'm gonna leave. Like that's my issue with. Like, I hate that James Harden has done this so many times, but James Harden has been put in less than optimal situations as somebody who had leverage. And people are like, oh, hey, he's not James Harden anymore. Yes, he is.
He was never not James Harden. Now, you want to know what the issue is going to be for him? After this season, no contender is going to have the money anyways to pay him what he will want after this year. I think I'm not going to say he's not going to get a Russell Westbrook type contract, but unless he goes to a bad team, he's not going to be able to get paid like he's getting paid again. And I think that is what he's probably most upset with Daryl Morey about, is that you didn't want to pay me. Like, I asked you to like do this and you said you were going to do it and you didn't do it. And then I opted in. And now I'm saying, okay, well, we don't get it done, you're going to trade me, right? And then it didn't happen. And it's just kind of like, all right, bro, fuck you. Like, now we're just not going to talk because you're the reason I even forced my way here because I liked you. Now I don't, like, we're not friends anymore. Like, we're not cool. Like delete my number.
And if you take it away from like the sports context, what James Harden does make sense, you know?
Yeah, I'm with James on it. I feel where he's coming from, but at this point, he's kind of dug himself in a hole, right?
Yeah, and what I think Daryl Morey is doing, he's manipulating the media to make James Harden look bad. And the media, I was listening to Gil today. They talked about this, right? And Gilbert Arenas is by far my favorite basketball analyst because second round pick, max player, all NBA player, highly respected, great game, but he also did a bunch of fuck shit. So he can really speak to the stuff. He goes, bro, you got people in the media changing jobs because we talking about like parking spots and not liking somebody's argument in the show and stuff like that. Talking about Skip and Shannon, right? Or Max and Stephen A. He goes, but y'all want to talk about this man getting upset that they withdrew a 4-year, $200 million contract from him? And he's not going to have the opportunity to make that kind of money ever, like, again?
Yeah.
I'm not going to come in here and trash him for y'all because he could be making $50 million a year and y'all tripping. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tripping on him, but like y'all get more mad for less. Dang, can't guard Mike is the one they threw to.
What happened?
They threw a fade to can't guard Mike, but he didn't catch it. Oh no, they called touchdown. So you got your 20.
Good. Well, now all I need is the Colorado Avalanche on the puck line. I hit my parlay tonight. I'm mad though. I wanted Olave to be the guy that got in. Obviously, fantasy. It looked like it was a false start too.
They don't really call false start in the NFL. Mike Evans' cleats are trash. He's wearing mids.
Mike Evans?
Not Mike Evans.
Michael
Thomas, yeah. Can't guard Mike. You know, his last great moment was against us last year.
Yeah, he had like 2 touchdowns, right? Week 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck Michael Thomas.
Hey, my dad's coming back to the Saints. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the week after New Year's?
No, week after Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah, the road game is.
Where are you going to be at in like 2 weeks? Are you going to be in Atlanta? We have a home game that week.
Oh, well then, yeah, I'll be here.
All right, cool. Having daughter's birthday party. I'll invite you.
Yeah, you know I'm there. It's going to be out in the Ville.
Yeah. Like, I really want you to come to the Ville because you are. I'm
overdue.
You're overdue. You're known. People like. Yeah, bro. You have a lot. You have a healthy level of clout in the Ville for someone who's never been there. But I tell you guys what, we've been terrible on hour 2 about talking about anything.
NBA specifically.
So let me give you guys a little bit of backstory on this. because we didn't do a show last week, and because Parlay Pete was out of town and didn't make it to the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Missed like a lot of just life talking points. So y'all are catching like a lot of fluff because we just hadn't talked.
Yeah. And people have to understand we talk every week.
Yeah. Like
You know?
we do a 3-hour show. We do probably 30 minutes before the show. A lot of times we do 20, 30 after the show. There have been nights where we've talked for an hour, hour and a half after the show on the phone. And then we see each other for Falcons home games. And that's a lot of times a Saturday night, a Sunday morning, and then a Sunday evening, depending on how drunk I get. Time of talking. So like we've lost that. So
Yeah.
hey, if you don't like the show, fuck off.
Fuck off, find another one.
I mean, real, like
There's plenty of options out here.
I mean,
yeah, being here with us, but don't complain about it.
Yeah, like part of this show is not just about the shit we talk about. It's that we're actually friends and we like to talk to each other. And as a married man, the easiest way to talk to one of my friends for 3 hours straight is, hey, baby, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
I was listening to Bill Simmons' preseason podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much out on Bill Simmons' sports takes.
Now, he used to be so great. I know I say this all the time. He used to be so great. He made me want to become if I couldn't be an analyst, like he made me definitely want to be a writer.
Problem is he sold the Ringer for $200 million. And he still runs the Ringer and works for Spotify. So like he got paid for the company and he still.
Did you know that he is one of the people that started 30 for 30 for ESPN?
Yes.
I didn't know that that's his shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's not his IP. Yeah, no, he did 30 for 30. That's him.
Because he was talking about the Vince McMahon thing that they're doing, which Vince apparently doesn't have the final say so on the final cut. He'll get to see it before, but he doesn't have the final cut because he sold it. So like they're gonna be able to, yeah, man. And let me tell you, when we were talking billionaires and guys that go on benders, he's one of them. I know he is. And he's a known face. Like if somebody saw Vince McMahon, you would know exactly who the fuck Vince McMahon was if you saw. You'd be like, man, you're the dude from wrestling, even if you don't watch wrestling.
And here's the thing about a lot of documentaries. Usually the person they're talking about has final say, so you don't get the good shit.
No, he doesn't have
And if Bill has final say, because I know Bill and the way he critiques documentaries because he calls them puff pieces.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as favorable to Vince as Vince would like it, but it's going to be fucking good.
Like Urban Meyer had final say on that Florida Gators thing.
Urban Meyer.
Like those guys had final say on what got out.
Urban Meyer was the EP. He EP'd that. Like, come on, man. Like, no talk of, like, very little talk of Aaron Hernandez. No talk of Cam Newton. Like, the jail shit. Like, there has to be a conversation of, yes, Cam got in trouble. Cam did something stupid, but, like, what Cam did was not on the level of what some of the other players were doing. Do you think you would have been better off playing Cam? Because Cam Newton's year at Auburn was better than any year Tim Tebow ever had. And
agreed.
Cam Newton was a better quarterback as a pro than obviously than Tim Tebow. And let me tell you, funny story about Cam Newton, right? My DB coach my sophomore year. So Cam Newton, I think he graduated in 07, 06, 07, whatever. My DB coach coached at Westlake with Cam Newton. And the reason why I became a Cam Newton fan was one day we had practice, he's like, free Cam Newton. I'm like, oh no. So, I go hop on Rivals, do a little research, see who Cam Newton is. We end up chopping up, talking about him. And he was like, yeah, bro, like, Cam should be playing over Tim Tebow. And I'm like,
nigga, what?
What are you talking about?
That's Jesus in cleats.
That's Tim Tebow. But when I would play NCAA, I would actually put Cam Newton in. And then when I actually saw what Cam Newton was, I go, that nigga knew what he was talking about. Do you think Denver repeats? Bill said, like I was talking about Simmons. Simmons thinks Denver is on the cusp of a dynasty. He said, and maybe one of the worst basketball takes I've heard out of my mouth by somebody who has a vote and is considered credible. But, what Jamal Murray showed in the playoffs was not a hot streak. It was who he was, which contrasts.
I can agree with that. Go ahead.
I mean, but it contrasts his entire career, right? Like he's
Yeah,
never
he's been an 18-8 guy, really 18-7 type guy, but
he's never been.
He's really this 25-9 dude.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, nigga got hot in the playoffs. Like, I'm not saying he can't do it over an 82 game season. I'm just saying nothing about him says that's who he is consistently. So for us to say, hey, Denver's the next dynasty, I honestly just don't believe it.
But you know what, too? Especially with them winning it finally because they were healthy. I'll tell you what we also got, Chris, you got to catch that. I'll tell you what we can take away from that Denver team is that those guys are playoff performers too. Like they're a postseason performing team. And, you know, it seemed like they were more of a regular season team, but really they're a postseason performing team. A la similar to like the Phillies, right? Like the Phillies are clearly they're a postseason team. They look like they were a good regular season team. Like that's why they're in the playoffs, but like they're a postseason team.
Bryce Harper is looking like everything they wanted Mike Trout to be in the playoffs.
Exactly, because Mike Trout, well, they did a comparison because somebody was like, yeah, Bryce Harper is better than Mike Trout. No, and honestly, I was like, you know what? Honestly, why not? But then when they did the side by side of their careers, it's not even close. It's not close. Like it isn't even close.
Mike Trout is Mike Evans. Mike Trout is Calvin Johnson. Like, hey, this man shows up and he busts ass every day. That's just what it is. Like, no. Bryce Harper just looks better doing it. He's flashy.
Yeah.
He's
a cocky son of a bitch that backs it up.
Bryce Harper's the guy you hate unless he's on your team.
Yeah.
He would never be a Brave, though.
No, he doesn't fit the organization.
No, we got Acuna who gets to be flashy.
Acuna.
Or Acuna.
Yeah, I know, but that is how motherfucker be saying that nigga name too, though.
Nah, but if my wife is listening, she would definitely not approve of me calling him Acuna when it's Acuna. But she probably would not approve of other things I've said on this.
Some people say coon.
That doesn't shock me.
I've heard those calls, but
bro, nigga, it's the Braves fan base wanted to go to Marietta.
Yeah, well, they wanted to bring it there because that's where
they are.
Well, and Cobb baseball is like very big, like travel, like those are like
East Cobb baseball is like is baseball god, is baseball royalty. Like I know some guys who played East Cobb baseball,
Texas football.
Yes,
yeah, like yeah.
I know some guys who play East Cobb baseball. So when the guy tells you he plays for East Cobb, you go, okay, nice. But then in my day, it was the East Cobb Astros. That was like their best team. Somebody tell you, yeah, I play for the East Cobb Astros. You go, oh, you one of them. So here's what I'll tell you. Cartersville, I don't know what it is today because I don't follow the sports the same way I used to. But when we were in high school, baseball hotbed.
Yeah.
Donovan Tate, third overall to the Padres. His teammate.
Straight out of high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but before that, he signed a dual scholarship with UNC to play baseball and football. He ended up playing some football at Arizona after the pros didn't work out, but he was a Georgia guy he graduated in 2009. He had the USC offer and the Texas offer.
Yeah.
In football.
Yeah.
You know, that's a hard offer to get out of the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
His teammate Lyle Allen, I don't know if you remember this. It was when Georgia made when Georgia made the baseball championship run.
Okay.
He got the number one play on SportsCenter top 10 for a while. The Georgia outfielder who like robbed the home run.
Yeah.
kids from Cartersville. At the same time, there was another kid, or another guy, older than you call them kids, but Tyler Klein. He got drafted like a bad round, but he was throwing 91 in like the 6th inning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just straight heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another bro, they're like had another kid go play catcher. He played at Cartersville too. He played catcher with the Ole Miss. Kid named Nathan Vineyard. He pitched lefty. From Woodland. He went to he got drafted in like 35th round. But like Cartersville is a baseball city.
Yeah.
We're a football baseball city because what people don't understand about the South, SEC country. We like football and baseball.
Yeah. There's a lot of hoopers that come out of Atlanta too, obviously, but like
out of Atlanta. But Atlanta's not SEC country. It's where SEC people end up working and living in the suburbs because that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
But Atlanta is not culturally reflective of Georgia.
No, it isn't. You're right.
Like Cartersville is reflective of Georgia. Hey, boy. You
Madonna,
they like you while you're good. But Derek Carl act like he want to fight somebody. And he's not good enough for that. Mike can't guard. Mike ain't good today. But anyways, we done got off topic.
Yeah. Denver, back to your question. Can Denver repeat? No, I let me tell you, they have a good chance. They do have a chance. They actually do have a chance. Everybody has to understand just how hard it is to repeat. Golden State's the last team that did it, right? And before Golden State.
Oh, the Aces did it yesterday.
Okay. Well, shout outs to Lee's girlfriend.
I have no girlfriends. I have one wife. Her name is Cindy Veronica Lee.
Yeah. Well, shout outs to Kelsey Plum.
Shout out to Plum Dog.
Shout out to Asia Wilson for showing why she should have got MVP.
Bree Stewart was like 3 for 18. Work.
She looked like shit the entire series.
Yeah, but you know why though? Because she hadn't played in any significant games in her entire career. Seattle wasn't that while she was there.
They won one.
Did Bree win one?
With Sue Bird. She won one. They won one.
Sue Bird's hot. Sue Bird does.
But she's not,
I know she's not interested in me, but I'm just saying, like when they had like all the people sitting on Celeb Row at Barclays yesterday, I'm like, Sue Bird. Becky Hammons does it for me too, though.
Becky's a solid-looking older white lady.
Stephen A. looked like
4?
Yeah. Stephen A. looked like an extra on Juice.
This guy JP's team is raking right now.
Who's he playing this week? Hopefully it's not me. Why should it be me?
He's playing Boinks Ballers.
Boink's not good at fantasy, so who cares?
Right. Boink's team is fucking in the dirt. And the sad thing is that Boink doesn't want to make any trades.
He wanted to trade with me. He wanted to do a Kamara Ayuk trade, and I was down to do it. I tried to offer him T. Higgins, obviously. He didn't want any piece of T, but I'm like, Kamara hasn't really been that good, and the Saints aren't that good. So, like, they're not going to run the ball.
Right.
I got Broadwater this week, and he's starting Sam Howell against me. I think I should just win because he's starting Sam Howell.
He's got a lot of guys out. No Brees Hall. Obviously, Kyron Williams is out. And now Kyron Williams is out for 4 weeks for him. He's not going to have him for 4 weeks.
His running back stable is Brian Robinson and Zeke. His receivers are DK and Christian Watson. Tight end, he has George Kittle. At the flex, he has Gabe Davis, which is hit and miss. He's playing the Rams defense against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And Tyler Bass, Buffalo's punter. I should beat Dale.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Raheem, the dream. We believe in you. What were we talking about with basketball? Because we got off in WNBA, and just while we're here on WNBA, somebody, they're talking about Asia Wilson needing a signature shoe, and Sabrina Ionescu has a shoe, and the race games gets caught in that conversation. But I'm sure that prop may have something to do with it because this is America. But Sabrina has a more watchable game than Asia Wilson, and
she plays in New York, not Las Vegas.
And Asia Wilson's teammates don't like her. I don't care what anybody says. Parlay Pete, how many games have we watched like on this podcast where Asia goes 7 possessions without touching the ball? It's just like,
yeah,
she's your best player. And
well, remember, I think I had her over or something once, and I was like, why aren't they giving this bitch?
Like, bro, I'm watching the game last night. Plum Dog, shout out to Plum Dog, gets ripped.
Plum Dog, thousandaire.
Now she's a millionaire now because she's married to
Darryl. No, sure. Yeah, sure. I'm just saying.
Bro, like the worst rip is like when you do the crossover and then you get ripped behind you and the person like beats you to the ball. Like she got ripped like that.
She's the one that should have the signature shoe, actually. But yeah, but what it is Ionescu, like I said, plays in New York.
She's with Nike.
She got Ionescu got the Kobe cosign, nigga. Like, so of course Nike wanted to get in that. She had the Kobe cosign the shit out of her. Like of all
high school, didn't he? Or out of
I
Oregon?
don't know. I know for a fact while she was at Oregon, because he showed up to one of her games, like with his daughter, right? Him and Gigi are sitting courtside at an Oregon basketball game. Gigi taking a visit of the campus. Obviously, Phil Knight, Nike, Kobe. It makes sense. But like he gave her that cosign. And Sabrina Ionescu is super duper talented. Like I think she was the first men or women's Division I basketball player to get to either, it was like 3,000 points, 1,000 assists, 1,000 rebounds. Like she's like the only one. She's the only person in that club.
Sabrina Ionescu has the best.
Yeah, she's appealing to look at. Like she's not ugly.
She's not like smoking hot. She's no Plum Dog. But
she just looks like she's like an attractive girl basketball player.
Yeah, and Sabrina Ionescu has the most watchable game in the WNBA. Like her game is nice to watch. Like she's not Ari. I can't pronounce your Nigerian last name, so I'm not going to try. From Dallas.
Obubuike? No. Obubuike is the one that's on Countdown.
Sure.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about though.
Like she's fine. Like I like to watch her hoop, but like Sabrina's game is just a beautiful game to watch. She will pull up from Steph range. Real quick on women's basketball. Angel Reese just got the Reebok deal. We got AI as like the VP of basketball ops, and we got Shaq as the president. Yeah. I'm really tired of people sleeping on Paige.
So you really think that Paige, you saw Iowa too, by the way, got that stadium packed out, largest attended women's basketball event. It was an exhibition, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Look, Kate's got the goods though. But
that
is why I'm not trying to be funny. That's why Paige is getting slept on. She's been away too long. And Kate's that bitch, bro.
Kate's going one. And hey guys, I know we're supposed to support Black women and build them up. But if you draft Angel Reese over Paige, you should be fired.
Well, and I think when they put out that mock, right, they had Angel coming here. See, Angel to me is gonna be a fit thing. Because if she goes somewhere, she has to kind of go to a city where like it's gonna fit. She gets drafted by the Tulsa Shock. It's not gonna work. I know they don't exist anymore, but like, they don't.
I was listening to I'm sorry I can't remember her name. But she's on Gilbert's podcast. She plays in the WNBA. That's where I learned to call it the W. No one else calls it that, but they call it the W. And she was talking about Angel. She was like, "Yeah, no, she'll be good. You know, she'll be good with the right fit, but like she's an energy player." And then so Gil's like, "Oh, so you would take Caitlin Clark over her one overall because like she's like she ain't skilled?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah. She ain't Asia. Like Asia as a big is skilled." But back to the Asia Sabrina shoe thing. Big post players don't get shoes like that.
Shaq's about the only one.
And he had his run with Reebok, and then he went independent. And
Shoes are so nice. The Reebok Shaq 2s, Shaq Attacks. I had a pair, man. Those are actually some really nice shoes. But
I like the Shaq Gnosis. Let me see. Let me see what the Shaq Attack looks like.
They're the 2s. I have the white ones.
Yeah, it's a nice shoe. Let me see. I didn't like the Kamikazes. But nah,
Yeah.
I see these the ones I like right here, the Shaq Gnosis.
Oh, Shaq Gnosis?
The Reebok Crazy Eights. But
we gonna get Olave in? Nope. He got to throw that bitch to Olave. You know he's open. And it looks like he's hurt though.
Josh, you know what? Derek Carr gets teed off on, and the referees don't care.
He's a tough son of a bitch. I won't take that away from him, but
I just don't want him.
He still is mediocre.
I'm looking at this. Is there anything NBA that you? Oh, we didn't even talk player rankings. Hour 2 is gonna stretch. Player rankings. Where do you want to go with that? Do you want to which?
Let's take a look at because I need to pull up the whole list.
Same. I just know on the Ringer player rankings, Russell Westbrook didn't make it, but we're gonna go with the ESPN NBA player rankings. You know, that's
okay. ESPN. Hold on. I want to see the whole list though.
I'm pulling it up right now. If I find it, I'll send you the link. Yeah, I got it. Let me see.
Yeah, send me the link for the whole list.
I'm sending it to you.
They have it broken up on ESPN into articles of fucking 50 through 100, 20.
Hey, fluff the show out while I go to the bathroom.
For sure. You know, NBA rankings, of course, is always going to have a bunch of different ways that people want to look at it, right? You can look at the NBA and say, objectively, oh, this guy's better, right? Objectively, but it's all subjective at the end of the day. Oh, wow. Wow. Moreau just dropped his touchdown pass. That's so crazy. Should have been throwing it to Chris Olave or something, but nonetheless, look, NBA player rankings, everybody's going to have an opinion and nobody's going to be happy with the list, right? It's one of those things where basketball might be the most subjectively looked at player ranking list. Literally. It's literally kind of your cup of tea. Who do you like more? It's not a who's actually better. Who do you like more? I'm sorry, guys. This game just ended. I've been looking at it. But it's a super duper subjective look at a list. And so I think when it comes to NBA rankings, you can't really take any of this stuff serious. A lot of people that are voting on it, of course, never played the NBA, which a lot of people don't, right? More people watch the NBA than that played in it. So, of course, there's going to be much more of a greater opinion on it.
Don't know what happened there, guys, but Parlay Pete disappeared. I'm just fresh back from the bathroom, but he's in here now, I think, or maybe not. Who knows? We got us a great Thursday night football game here. First one in forever. And we're gonna talk about the NBA player 100 rankings. And let me tell you, we're probably not gonna start at 100. But you know what, man? That's hour two. That's hour two AC League Parlay Pete podcast. We're gonna open up hour one or hour three actually with the player rankings. So hey, Parlay Pete.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened there. My shit just went out, and then I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, no, I came back and I go, oh, he's not here. Let me just start talking. But we're opening up hour two. Man, we ain't got to the picks, boy. We've been all over the place. We'll get to them. I promise. We're gonna get to it's hour three now, and we're gonna talk about some player rankings. I don't even know what happened in this game.
Oh, you missed it. So Foster Moreau, I guess he's actually maybe the starting tight end now there. I don't know, but he dropped a wide open touchdown on third down, and then they tried throwing it to Chris Olave on the fourth down play. But you could argue maybe it was going to be a PI. They could have called defensive holding or something. They didn't. I mean, it was definitely, maybe it was a good no call, honestly, because like you can't really, it looked like good defense, but like it also was like, well, he looks like he's holding them too. But yeah, so he dropped a wide open touchdown. But good for the Falcons and good for my bet because we got all 20 from both teams, and they lost. The Saints lost. I always celebrate Saints losses. Good game though.
Yeah, we love when the Saints lose. But NBA player rankings, top 100. I got to pull it up. Mitchell Robinson's number 100. We don't care about that. Care about 99. Hey.
Shout outs to Colin Sexton, my boy Colin, making the list.
I was going to stop there.
Huh?
I was going to stop there and shout out Colin.
Yeah, man. Shout out to young boy. I will definitely be in attendance of a lot of his games this season.
Are they playing in Atlanta this year?
Yeah, every year they play here. You know, everybody in the NBA plays everywhere. But yes, but I'm trying to go out to Salt Lake City.
I know you are. You know, I don't have the same mobility that you do, but that Atlanta game, that's one. I want to go hang out.
Yeah, I bought my buddy Cuban Mike. He came to the game last year. He got to meet Colin and everything afterwards, the whole family and everything. Good. I mean, it's a good time. It's always good to be around him.
Hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw this job opening available as the guest coordinator for the Charlotte Hornets, and I'm in a contract, so I'm where I'm at for now. But I was salivating at that job. I'm like, what? I'd love that job.
Yeah.
I don't know how that plays at home because I have to go to all the home games and the road games they tell me to go to and workouts in summer league. But what?
But you're not far from Atlanta either. You're still basically home,
bro. I can still keep my season tickets. You know what I mean? Like I can still like leave Atlanta. The drive from Atlanta to
3.5 hours from Atlanta to Charlotte.
The drive to Atlanta to Charlotte is the same thing as the drive from
Albany to Cartersville.
Well, when I go from because you know there are some weeks I go Albany, I go Atlanta, Cartersville, then to Albany. So I'm like, oh yeah, bro, I can do this.
Yeah, knock that out in your sleep.
Oh yeah, we're talking about in the 90s. We got Russell Westbrook at 94. Do you think there are 93 players better than Russell Westbrook?
No, I don't. And I don't understand the significant drop-off, especially after how he played in the playoffs without Kawhi and PG there. He was essentially willing that team. He showed that, which is why they got him in, why he's back this year, because those guys are going to miss games. They are going to miss games. And he will still be able to, on nights where they play the Detroit Pistons and Kawhi and PG are out, he can still will them to win those games. Like he can still win those games by him at being the star player on the floor. Similar to what he did with the Wizards, right? Like they were a play-in playoff team. I think they made the play-in, that year that he got the triple-double crown and everything. They made the play-in. And it was all him. He willed them. I mean, they won like 40 games, but it was because of him.
And the crazy thing about Russ with the Wizards, let me go cite Gilbert Arenas again. He talked about like when he first got there, he went to like a practice, whatever, and it was like 5 ups and downs, and Bradley Beal didn't touch the ball. Oh yeah, that's a bad drop, Morel.
Yeah, it was terrible. He was wide open, and he should have caught it. I mean,
Derek Carr, yeah, you get to yell at him for that, but no. What apparently Russ like stops practicing and was like, "Y'all not know who this is? This is Bradley fucking Beal. Like, give him the ball." Let's see. Do you think there are 92 players better than Mike Conley? I don't.
Josh Hart isn't. Josh Hart's 91. I don't understand that one.
John, I don't care about that, Rob.
I'm not mad because John Collins has shown flashes of being a really. I mean, think about it. Before Trey got there, he was a 20-10 dude. So, like, I mean, I don't.
He needs more volume.
Yeah, right. He's a guy. Here's the issue: John Collins is not a 3 on a championship team, but he'd be a nice. Like, I bet if he were in Phoenix, like how he was rumored to be going there this entire time, if he went to Phoenix, that'd be a really nice fit. Like playing with that type of team as a 4 or a 5, the 4th or 5th option on that team, that's where you want John Collins to be. But his contract suggests that wouldn't be possible. So,
you know what I do like here, though? I like Tobias Harris at 83 and not 56 like he was last year. Tobias Harris is the most overpaid player in NBA history.
Kyle Kuzma should be a little bit higher than 86, in my opinion.
I see that. I won't argue with you. And then I go to 82 and I see Cam Johnson. I go, you know what? Kyle Kuzma's more consistent than Cam Johnson.
He is. He's
better than Bobby Portis. Jalen Green at 80, but he was at 62 the year before. What the fuck does how does he fall 18 spots? That doesn't make sense.
Well, how was he at 62 to begin with? He probably wasn't the 62nd best player in the NBA.
Tyler Hero's not the 79th best player.
He hadn't even fucking played a game, and he's 78.
Scoot's not better than Tyler Hero today.
Chris Paul at 76 is an interesting one, considering he was 21 the year before.
Yeah. That
I mean, are there 75 players better than Chris Paul in the NBA? Probably not.
There's not 75 players in the history of the NBA better than Chris Paul. He made the All-NBA 75. Yeah. And he's not washed. I don't care about
Chet hadn't played an NBA game, and he's somehow 73.
You know, it's just media stuff.
Hey, bold prediction, because Jordan Poole's at 72. Bold prediction. Jordan Poole averages 24-plus points per game.
I was going to say 25.
Yeah. I think he has a James Harden to the Rockets-esque type year.
Jordan Poole is going to be a borderline all-star. They're just not going to be good enough as a team for him to make the all-star team. But Jordan Poole is going to be one of the best scoring guards in the league.
It'll be a good league pass team, I think, with Kuz to where, you know, it's a bullshit night. They're playing the Grizzlies without Ja, and it's an entertaining game.
I don't like Michael Porter at 68. I get it because he's the third-ish option, depending on the day.
He's the third option.
Sometimes it's Aaron Gordon.
He's the third option. And another thing, back to that Denver thing, too, why the repeat's going to be hard. Bruce Brown's a big part of that playoff run, and he's gone. So
Michael Porter Jr. is better than more than 67 people in this league.
Well, what do you think of Austin Reeves at 66?
I think that the white media loves Austin Reeves because he's an American white guy and he can hoop and they love him. So that's why he's there.
DeJounte Murray should not be behind Marcus Smart.
No, because DeJounte Murray can actually score.
And he can play defense, too.
And he made an all-star game.
Jeremy Grant shouldn't be higher than him. Zion at 57 is interesting, but I kind of get why, maybe.
Fred VanVleet's not better than Zion Williamson.
No, he's not.
Neither. I love Draymond.
It's not better than
Not bad. But I also think Draymond should be higher than 55.
Should Franz Wagner be 52?
Hold on. No. Should Josh Giddey be higher than Draymond
And Zion.
and Zion? And
I like Josh Giddey. I think Josh Giddey's got a bag on him.
Josh Giddey has game. So let me tell you about Josh Giddey. Actually, the last Hawks game I went to, not last season, season before, it was a Josh Giddey no shea game.
Mm-hmm.
And he had one of those Jason Kidd triple doubles. But you remember after that
12, 15,
12, 15, 10 type shit, right? You remember when we went to that Hawks playoffs game, even though the Hawks lost, the way that Trey controlled the game and the arena?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Giddey has that in his bag. And what I don't think people understand is when you're evaluating basketball, it's deeper than just what you see on the court when you watch the game at home.
Yeah.
You have to be in the arena to properly evaluate a player. A lot of the people who don't like Trae Young have never been at State Farm while Trae Young's playing. Trae Young, even in a bad game, he has full control of the arena. He has full control of the floor. Like Trae Young is high on my list because I've seen him in person. Like,
and let's take it back too. Obviously, we saw the run that he did, but even this past playoffs, I mean, they had no chance against Boston, but they stole that game in Boston, and that was on him. Like Trey. We saw the why, right? Just like we did against the Knicks. Like we're like, nah, man, y'all need to stop hating on this dude. This dude can put the ball in the hole. He's got crazy court vision. Yeah, he's not a good defender, but most people his size aren't gonna be good defenders.
He's 5'11".
Yeah, most people his size aren't gonna be good defenders. But he's entertaining as hell to watch. He can score the ball at all three levels, to be completely honest with you, because he can take it to the hole too. Like he can play, and there's not anyone that I necessarily am just like, oh yeah, their court vision is that much better. Like he's an elite passer too.
Yeah, man, and it's just hard because again, I don't want to hear you talk about a player that you watch on League Pass too much because there are so many intangible things that if you don't understand, you don't understand. I think this list actually stops at 50.
Yeah, I've already moved on to the next one.
Okay, can you send it to me, please? Because I don't have it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm looking for it. To kill the dead air while we go.
Well,
when we in the top 50 is kind of disgusting. Jared Allen, we don't care about Jared Allen 50.
Yeah, LaMelo Ball at 48.
That's wrong.
He's 41 the year before too. Kind of crazy.
That was wrong too.
His game is really top 30 though. Like his game top 30.
And because here's the thing about LaMelo. He learned the game from LeVar Ball. And LeVar Ball taught his kids not to be selfish outside of Jello. And Jello's not in the league. He's not good enough.
Nigga said outside of Jello.
But the way he plays, he does not have that. He's going to land at 48, 41, 37 because he passes the ball.
Yeah.
And he does things that don't create stats. And too often, the people who discuss basketball discuss the stats and not discuss the game. Like the extra pass.
They Josh Holsey it.
Oh, yeah, Josh Holsey, the fucking box score master.
What's a podcast without us giving Josh Holsey a stray?
I mean, when I was using the bathroom, I'm like, dang, man. Yale caught more strays than Josh Holsey today. But no, it's like Josh Holsey will tell you the box score. I go, Josh, yeah, I know the box score.
Well, he'll talk about a Falcons game, and it's like, Josh, we watched the entire game. You were drunk at some bar at 10 a.m. watching the Eagles play. We were at Mercedes-Benz State. We watched the game. I don't think that you can go based on what we saw what happened, play by play. You're looking at a box score and then what
highlights.
What fucking Jason Garrett saying on Sunday night. What his opinion was, along with Maria Taylor and fucking McCourty. And
you know what? And Josh Holsey, you weren't coherent when you received that information either.
Right.
Like imagine how drunk Josh Holsey is on the average Sunday by the time the Sunday game starts. Or during the Sunday pregame show, Football Night in America.
You know what he does? He wakes up, he looks around. Maybe he kisses his girl and, pets the dog, takes it for a walk. But he picks up his clothes, he throws it in the dryer, hops in the shower. So by the time he gets out the shower, he can just throw his clothes on. He hits up whoever it is that he's going to link up with at wherever they're going. And he'll be like, he's like, bet I'm about to call Uber now. and he makes himself an old fashioned while he waits on the Uber. That way he's got one in him before he can even get there. And it's just like, Josh, it's 9:30 in the morning. You ended your night at 3:30.
The funny part about this is we've spent so many West Coast days with Josh Holsey that he can't refute what we're saying.
No, he can't. And then, of course, he pulls one of these. He throws the shades on. He throws the shades on. And
so, he's like Frankenstein on Big Daddy. He throws his shades on and you can't see him.
Right. That's his thought, right?
No, Josh, we see you and you're drunk from last night.
And you can't, and the shades aren't helping. They're not hiding that.
No, you're drunk from last night and you're gonna get us kicked out of this bar before 1 a.m.
Right.
1 p.m. I've lived that, so fuck you, Josh Holsey, if you have anything.
James Harden at 43. Come on, man.
He just led the league.
Didn't James just lead the league in assists this past year?
Yeah, he's right in front of CJ McCollum. Stop it.
You tell me.
Oh, no. Tyrese Maxey is 42 above James Harden.
What's that Donald Trump gif where he's like rolling his eyes, kind of like,
yeah, bro.
That's me to that news. Like, okay.
Klay Thompson, 41. Don't care. Evan Mobley, show me something when it matters.
Well, Evan Mobley, I think is a really good player, but he hadn't even had that jumping game yet. Like, I haven't seen it. He feels like he's been the same guy since his rookie year.
He should be
talented, but like, when he put it together.
Media darling, they like the tangibles. They like the body. They like what he could be.
Check this out. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine are 39-38. So they've got two top 40 players that somehow can't even post a fucking winning record. Like what?
Bradley Beal is number 37, and I get that the Wizards weren't a basketball team. But I don't think people understand what happens when you show up to start a game knowing you're going to lose. You don't play the same way. Paul P, have you ever been on a losing team?
Yeah.
Or have you ever just showed up to a game where you're like, it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what our best player does. We're going to lose.
Yeah, there's been games like that, more so back in rec. When I did rec, like in high school, I never thought we were. I honestly thought
y'all were a unit. But let me tell you something about Vic Beasley, because I spent my rec career playing against Vic Beasley.
Yeah,
more so in basketball than football. Actually, play against Vic, you go. It's a good chance we're gonna lose this game. Vic
he was like that in basketball.
The athleticism and
out muscling people, probably
not out. No. Vic was a running back receiver until he got to Clemson. That's why he's the undersized DN. You know what I mean? Like he got recruited as an athlete, but he had the ball in his hands. Vic dunked in the game in 8th grade.
Wow.
And there's a video that exists somewhere on YouTube where Vic broke a rim in high school. Like he dunked it and he broke the rim. Hey man, in rec league, what am I gonna do with you? I'm the best player on my team. Obviously, I'm on the perimeter. I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna get my 15, 17, you know what I'm saying? Vic might go get 30
Yeah.
in rec in 6-minute quarters.
Yeah.
Hey, now we played 24 minutes. Vic gave us 30 because our big man played center on my rec football team 2 months ago.
So he was a pretty unathletic kid, probably. Just
Yeah.
a big body.
And me and Vic both played running back. But now you're playing big. You're like, oh, God. I can go off today. And the thing about Vic, because Vic wasn't from Cartersville, right? He's from Adairsville.
Yeah.
So Adairsville had their own teams in our league. So you also take the comparable athletes to like I was a varsity athlete, right? Like you take the guys who are comparable to me, but then you have Vic, the guy who went to the league.
Right. The not just athlete, like he's not just athletic. This is a gifted nigga. Like
no, Vic was a prodigy. Like I played on the all-star team with Vic, and the coaches called him Victory.
I mean, you can't. I can't say that it was ever anyone in rec that I played with that was like that. Like,
and I'm telling you, like as a guy in my recreation department, I set the record for longest football touchdown, 95 yards. AC Vic is what they call me. Like I broke a night. Like I played in the same rec league with Vic, and even though I had the record and I was solid back then, I was never him. And I walk out on the field most days. I'm like, okay, I'm about to go for a buck plus 2 tubs, and I'm playing against Vic. I go, I might go for a buck plus with 2 tubs, but I really need to go for like 204.
yeah.
I'm trying to think. I didn't beat Vic in football till maybe middle school, but we were like in 7th grade, so that barely counts because we weren't the guys.
Yeah.
And I beat him in high school, but like, where's high school, bro? Like,
There's only one guy that I can remember, and when you start talking about like showing up to a game knowing you're going to lose,
Blake Sims. Hold on. Blake Sims was on my team when I beat Vic in high school, by the way.
Well, Blake's a Bama. Yeah, I mean, so
equalizer.
But there was a guy, DeAndre Smelter. He played at Georgia Tech. He got drafted too. He was drafted by the 49ers in the 4th round at wide receiver. And we didn't fear him in basketball. He was still physically imposed. He's like 6'2", but like, I mean, he's grown man build.
Yeah.
But in football, that motherfucker made everybody look small with them pads on. And Tatnall's was they're like the best private school in Macon. And like, man, they beat us like 42-0 in the first half and just ran the rest of the game. It was pretty bad, but that's a motherfucker that I can remember like being like, oh yeah, this dude's kind of different. Like, especially on the football field. I was like, he's different. Like,
I can remember losing a game to Vic in 10 and under 1926. Nah, it's crazy. I'm like, repeat. I remember the score. 1926. I remember that game. I got tackled into the what's it, the yard, the little yard sticks.
yeah.
And I busted my knee. The yard markers. I got tackled into the chain. Like I just landed on the chain, and you got your knees out. And I got a little bloody. And we shut Vic down, but this dude named Nigel played at West Georgia and he played at West Georgia, then he ended up at Reinhardt, and he went crazy at Reinhardt. That's the motherfucker we couldn't stop.
He's just having his way.
Yeah, and I probably had like 1 or 2 tubs that day. But I mean, this is 5th grade. Who cares?
Right.
Back to the NBA player rankings.
Well, obviously, I think we're the list.
Darius Garland's ranked above Bradley Beal. Stop. Watch basketball.
Ja Morant 35 and Kyrie Irving 34.
Wrong. What's that song by Biggie? You're dead wrong.
And then, of course,
Mikal Bridges at 33?
Wait. And this is what I was about to do. I'm about to flash back to Kanye. I like Mikal Bridges in some of them games that he played. But when the fuck did he become better than Kyrie and Ja?
Jalen Brunson is 32, by the way. At the same position that Kyrie and Ja.
He's not better than them, but I'm not mad at where he's ranked.
I'm not mad at him at 32 as long as Ja and Kyrie are like 25, 26.
Yeah, I think about that. And I like Jaren Jackson too, but why would Jaren Jackson be better than Ja Morant on the same team?
And Ja Morant's the best player on that team.
And look, and I get it. Jaren won DPOY. Like, I get it. And he not Ja though, bro.
You heard
Nobody is paying to go to the Memphis Grizzlies games to see Jaren Jackson play. I promise you. Like,
Paolo at 30. Paolo's not better than Ja. Here's the disrespect. Trae Young at 29. Trae Young has
with Lauri Markkanen ahead of him.
Trae Young, what? Oh,
yeah, Lauri Markkanen is the very next person on the list. Yeah, man, this stuff is stupid.
Trae Young.
B.I. is not better than Trae Young.
Fuck no.
Bro, and I love Drew Holiday. Drew not better than Trae.
Drew don't want to see Trae.
Here's
the thing about Trae. They don't like Trae because Trae is an asshole. They don't like Trae because he doesn't play defense. But when you talk about points and assists, Trae Young's output has not changed since high school.
Bro, Cat didn't play in half the season last year. More than half the season, and he's still top 20. Stop,
bro. Trae Young is 27 and 10 in the NBA.
But he's 29 in the league.
I get we love Luka because he gets rebounds because he's 6'8" and fat. But come on, bro. Outside of all NBAs and all stars, again, that's the way you get picked there is very subjective based on how you're viewed by the media and coaches, not actually what you do on the court. What the fuck has Luka Doncic done that Trae hasn't? If you tell me rebound, I'm gonna say Trae's 5'11" point guard. Like, fuck off.
And Trae still gets about 3 or 4 a game. Even then. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of it's ricocheted off the rim and it just falling in his hand and he's in transition. But like, you know.
And he gives you 27 and 10, nigga. That is damn near 40 points. That is damn near 50 points a game. Because 10 assists, that's at least 20 points.
Right. At least. And we know that there's a 3 or 2 in there. So it is 50 points a game.
Trae's giving you 50. He is providing 50 points a game. I get you may not like it aesthetically. You may not think he makes all of his teammates better. But you know, what's that song? It's Ludacris. I'm a lyricist to the depth. You know, baby. Yeah. Like, MC said with me, please hold the crowd.
Yeah.
He holds the fucking crowd. Like that nigga Trae will look at Quavo and ... stupid step back 3. And when I tell you that crowd goes crazy. Maybe it's my Atlanta fan bias because I've been there in the stadium with him.
Hey, good callback to Last of a Dying Breed by Ludacris. One of my favorite albums, by the way, Theater of the Mind. I really like that album. And I don't think it got the due credit that it deserved. It's actually a really good album.
And Wayne's verse didn't get the credit deserved.
He bodies it. That and Wayne on Death Wish with Jadakiss is like, because it's like all that same era too of that Wayne. And like,
hey, you know another Wayne crazy verse? grew up a screw up.
Oh yeah. But you know what? Look, I know we're doing basketball.
Hey, hold on. De'Aaron Fox is not better than Trae Young.
No, he isn't. He isn't.
Back to your hip hop take, please.
No, I was just gonna simply say that Wayne. Everybody loves talking about the 05 to 08 Wayne, but what about the 08 to 12 Wayne too? The post best rapper alive era.
What about in that reign? That's Wayne getting out of jail. Sorry for the wait.
Yeah.
There's also no ceilings.
I remember, man, we were sitting at school. We had obviously a Mount Vernon, laptop, whatever, everybody. And man, we were sitting up waiting on Dat Piff when it dropped. And everybody's going crazy at lunch. Niggas are already saying, all right, this is the best song. You know what I mean? It's especially when I'll never forget because of how the fucking ice cream paint job. TPT, it's that auto tune. Young Money, sure up in the big shot. Yeah,
bro. I promise you guys, we're not gonna go to a deep hip hop talk. You had to be there for the Wayne drops.
Yeah.
You really had to be there. You had to be there at the 18 and under club type shit. You had to be there at the house party. When the song comes on.
Hell, the locker room itself, bro.
Yeah.
Before games.
Yeah. When the song come on and somebody played a regular version. Now, nigga, play that Wayne version. Nigga, I don't want to hear that regular shit. Nigga, play the Wayne version.
And that's so crazy, too. So, funny story. So, with Justice used to be the DJ for our games, right?
DJ, please pick up your phone. I'm on the request line.
So Justice did our music for our game. So our come out music when we're warming up, he's the one switching the song. Now, of course, our principal, which is funny, they had a funny relationship. Him and Justice just have a funny relationship. But he was over there, and of course he couldn't play certain obviously everything had to be clean. A lot of times it had to be instrumentals even. Just because some of the content, even if it was clean, just wasn't. It's Christian school, So, but yeah, there would always be some no ceiling that was getting thrown in there, man. This was a different era,
bro. It was.
Then even when we got to college, I'm on one. They all bodied it. I thought Ross bodied, Drake bodies it. These are records. So that. To me, that is the best DJ Khaled record. I'm on one. But and hear me out. Now, look, We Taking Over is always going to have a special place in my heart.
Okay.
That's what kicked it off, right?
And the bees feed me. I think I've told you on this podcast. I'm sitting in the barbershop.
Birdman gave that nigga the all-time assist. If he
golly, bro, it was Jason Kidd to Kenyon Martin type shit. Bro, I remember listening to in the barbershop one day. We watching BET got the videos on. The nigga who cut my hair. It's probably the last time he cut my hair. He said T.I. had the best verse on the song. I'm like, what? And then
he definitely he kicks it off right, for sure.
He kicks it off right, but the way that Birdman passed that baton to Wayne, and Wayne went from hey, we in
this game, now my son on the throne. I am the beast. It's literally, that shit is literally the LeBron D Wade picture.
And the thing about that song is, let's be real, when Wayne took that, he went crazy. But I'm gonna be real with you, Parlay P. I don't think I let that nigga cut my hair after he said that shit. Nigga, excuse me? Hey, YouTube! I know you gonna hear me. Fuck it!
DJ Khaled! Convict music! We the best! Yeah, we taking over!
Spread it out with South Carolina, Alabama.
Sunday had a whole church singing the song. Why the hell?
What you gonna say to this? What you gonna say to this? Come on, man. Stop playing with him.
He in the game. Now my son on the throne.
I am the beast.
Feed me, rapper, the feed me beast.
I need a leash. I'm insane.
I need a street.
I need a
Leash. Why I can play it on easy street?
I don't even look at these to speak, and I like my Sprite. Each and the
Special club, but the mule is cooler. I have more juice than your jeweler. Touching, I will bust your medulla. That's a bullet hole, it is not a tumor. Red light, stop your rumors. I stay on track like a box of boomers. I just rock with Junior.
Nah, but like the nigga in the barbershop said, who actually is wearing Pumas? Hey, nigga, shut the fuck up. You just, hey, them clippers you got, run them across your lips about 17 times, bro. You sound stupid.
Nigga, $150 yourself. But
Hey, you know what, nigga? Sell this barbershop, bro. And donate all the money you make from charity, man. Nah, bro. Get back to the NBA list, man. I'm not about to go down the Lil Wayne rabbit hole because
yeah, we could be there forever. Kawhi Leonard at 24. I don't like that either.
no,
And I get why, because the hurt, like I get it, but he should be higher than that. He should be higher than DeMontis Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. Come on, man. Let's stop it.
I mean, he's and Tyrese Halliburton. Come on, man, stop it.
Cat shouldn't be top 20,
No,
in my opinion.
Hey, Jaylen Brown or Kawhi Leonard?
I'm taking Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, everybody else is too.
Paul
Paul George at 18, I get
not
it.
about right, maybe.
Jamal Murray at 17, that's wrong. I know he had
Paul George.
a great playoff run. Nobody's ever built their team around Jamal Murray.
Bam shouldn't be 16 either. I mean, I get why these guys, went to the finals, right? But like, come on, man. Is Bam top 16? Bam not top 16 though.
Donovan Mitchell is top 15 though.
I won't complain with it.
Dame
at 14 is a fucking travesty.
Put that nigga in top 10, bro. Throw your list away.
I'm fine with Ant Edwards here, and I think a lot of his number is more of what his promise is going to bring.
Yeah.
More than anything, especially after what he did with the FIBA team, he was basically the only nigga that did care.
That was out to get buckets.
I'm not. I get it. Once we get now basically into this top 10, you get kind of nitpicky. But Butler at 12 and Book at 11.
No. Jimmy, 2 finals, 4 years. Eastern Conference Finals, like he's a 3 rimming out away from 3 finals in 4 years as the guy. Because even, bro, you have to.
But who do you take out of the Shea is the only one you're probably taking out of that top 10 for Jimmy, though.
You're fucking right.
Who else are you there's nobody else to really take out of this top 10 for them.
Shea's not top 10 to me. I think Shea put up great numbers. I think Shea is great. But I ain't see Shea do it with pressure.
He's not he ain't top 10. He's not top 10. I'm with you. And don't get me wrong, that's not a knock on Shea. But come on, man, what we doing? Yeah, he's not top 10, man.
He's not like he ain't got the pelts on the wall. Okay, then we got Anthony Davis at 10. Yes. LeBron at 9. No, he's not 9. He's closer to 4. He got us to Western Conference Finals last year, by the way.
Well, you don't put him over KD.
Hold on, let me get there. Shea 8. Fuck no. Get this nigga at top 10. KD at 7. LeBron
today over LeBron. Today.
LeBron gonna be there. LeBron's gonna be there though.
Look, at this point, those guys, it's so interchangeable when you get to this.
It is.
It's like a preference thing. It's not even There is no wrong answer. I think there actually is a wrong answer for best player. There's a wrong answer for that.
I got a question for you. LeBron or Embiid?
Today?
Yes. Next season.
I mean, LeBron overall, man.
And that's my thing, right? Like Jason Tatum at 6. I ain't mad at
I think LeBron over Tatum though, low key.
But it's high key.
And I like Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum got super game, but like
Steph at 5. I don't think there are 4 people in the league better than him.
I'll take Steph over Luka still today.
Man,
I take him over Joel Embiid too. I tell you what, I wouldn't take Steph over Luke over Jokic. I think Jokic should be first on the list. I don't think it should.
Yeah, Giannis and Jokic at 1 and 2. I'm not gonna argue with you about those two. I think they should be 1 and 2. And Jokic is the guy with the championship right now, so sure, put him at number 1.
Yeah,
but and we start doing the team thing, right? And like you start contextualizing these players. What Giannis's non-shooting ass gonna be able to do with Dame? That's gonna be the best pick and roll God's ever seen. And God watched Bill Russell.
It's as soon as the trade happened, I literally said it. This is the best. I mean, excluding Steph and KD, I'm not really gonna count them.
No, that's the best. That's the best 1-2 we've ever thought about.
Yeah, but in terms of big and small, and I get it, KD's 7 feet tall, but like he ain't a big. This is the best big small tandem since Shaq Kobe.
It may be better.
Well, now hold on.
Hold on. It may be more.
Not too far ahead of ourselves.
It may be more. It may be more productive and efficient based on their abilities. I won't say
sure but that's because Shaq didn't have anything outside of the paint and he couldn't shoot free throws. Giannis is a better free throw. He's a better free throw shooter than Shaq, and he can occasionally take the 3. You're not comfortable. You hold your breath. It's kind of like when Josh Smith used to shoot 3s for the Hawks. Like he would make them sometimes, but like you held your breath every time that nigga touched the ball back there. And Dame, obviously one of the best shooters of all time. Dame is a great scorer, but Dame isn't Kobe Bryant either.
No, he's not. But the reason why I say it may be a better 1-2 punch is the fact that Dame can shoot from 30. He can shoot from 2 steps in front of half court.
Well, especially on the pick and roll, right?
Yeah.
If Giannis is setting that shit up there, 6 feet from behind the 3-point line, and he can take up so much space. If he picks it and he throws it to him, Giannis has 2 steps, bro, and he's dunking it from there.
Yeah. And that's why I think that it can be more efficient than Kobe and Shaq. And
then look out too. You also will have that ability to where, okay, let's say that happens and then somebody's in front of Giannis. Now, if he puts a light touch pass on it, there goes Brook Lopez. That's an alley-oop. Yeah, man, that high-low shit, that Odom, Bynum, Gasol shit, like that.
And that's why I think I don't think Dame and Giannis are better than Kobe and Shaq because I don't think either of them are better than Kobe and Shaq.
There's not a better duo. Maybe, some people would say Magic, Kareem. And, of course, like I said, I'm not going to count Jordan Pippen either because that's not a big and small. But maybe Magic, Kareem would be the one. But there isn't really in our lifetime, the Kobe Shaq thing is the best there was ever.
But I just do think if Dame is cooking, like you catch Dame on a good day, I don't think we've seen anything like Dame and Giannis in the pick and roll. Because here's the other thing. Switch if you want to. Especially if Giannis is playing the small ball 5 with his 7-foot ass. Like if Giannis is the 5. And you know they're gonna make some moves in the fucking buyout market because
buyout market, trade deadline. I'm sure they'll get crafty,
bro. Like what they could do, simply amazing. I'm looking here. I know we gotta talk. We gotta do picks.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Listen, well, I tell you what, we can quickly even just run through our predictions for basketball.
Uh,
MVP, DPOY, six man, coach of the year, Western Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals matchup winner.
all right, MVP Giannis. I think he's gonna average like 31 and a half, 12 and a half, 13, and like 2 blocks. Like,
Yeah, I'm with you there. I could see that, but I also, Jokic, man, I think that he's gonna have even more to prove again this year, like because they are kind of getting overshadowed because of the offseason moves. That's why the Celtics, Bucks, and Suns are being talked about more than anyone. But those are the guys that just did it, and they've got the nucleus that they've had. There's, everything about them is familiar. So I can see Jokic easily putting on a, 28, 13, 9 type year. Like, I mean, like, those are the numbers, though. Like, those are like his numbers.
it starts with Giannis and Jokic and everybody else after that.
Well, Embiid's the guy that won it last year. He won't do it again this year because James Harden probably won't be on the floor. And if he is,
no, it's not even that. It's he got his MVP. The voters are gonna shut the fuck up. Like, yeah, he got it.
Yeah,
I would like to see somebody like Jason Tatum give us MVP. Like, I want to bring the MVP back to America.
Who's your dark horse? Is that your dark horse?
He would probably be my dark horse, but I can see the Celtics winning 58 games and Jason Tatum averaging 30.
I'll give you a dark horse that nobody probably is really talking about. Devin Booker.
It's going to be hard.
I know with KD and Brill, but I just feel like he's going to be the one that honestly, he's going to benefit from it because I'm assuming he's the one running point. He could easily be a 10 assist guy, and we know that he's good for 25, 26. And if they have the best record and he's a 26 and 10 dude, if he puts up Trey Young's numbers and they have the best record in the league, and as long as KD's not averaging 37 and 6, you know what I mean? Something like that. I could see him being a dark horse MVP guy.
I'm not mad at that. Who you got in the finals?
I like Phoenix and Milwaukee. I know that's going to be such a popular answer, but I like Phoenix and Milwaukee to do it again, to go back again.
No pushback for me. Offensive player of the year. I mean, excuse me, rookie of the year.
And just quick note too, I'm going to take Phoenix to actually win that series, and I think it does go 7.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Yeah.
Give me who you got for rookie of the year. I'm torn between Chet and Chet.
Do it too. Shit. If he's gonna have the green light, like why wouldn't he could average 20, right? Like off rip, be a 20 and 6 dude, like
yeah.
But the question is, what's Wemby's stat line going to be like? Because if it's anything like kind of like what we did see with them, Shea is still the best player on the Thunder. So that's why I don't expect Chet to win it. Because Shea is still the best player on that team.
I think
Wemby is going to be able to, even with who's the man that they just paid?
Keldon Johnson? No, other guy.
Devin Vassell. And then they got Sotan. They got Johnson. Yeah, but Wemby, I feel like, could easily produce a 19, 9, and 5 type block, like 5 blocks. 19, 9, and 5 type stat.
Oh, five blocks? Not like 3 or 4?
Huh?
Not 3 or 4? You can get 5?
I mean, how many times is he going to have easy pickings on some of that stuff?
I think a lot of niggas going to try Wemby at the rim, and he's going to be like, yeah, nah, bro.
I think a lot of bigs are, but like if
even niggas trying to dunk
Brunson's going to the hole, you don't think he's getting him? Like he's getting Jalen Brunson. If Colin's going to the rim, bro, and look, Colin will jump with the best of them. He's getting Colin.
What about Ben Simmons?
He's sending his shit too. Now, when LeBron gets up there, that's a different story. If KD go up there, he's going to have to bang with that. Jason Tatum, when those guys go, Giannis, when Giannis takes his ass to the bucket, I don't know. But
I have no idea who Coach of the Year is. I really don't care. Maybe Adrian Griffin, just because I could see him doing some
Frank
shit.
Vogel with Phoenix.
Frank Vogel, Adrian Griffin.
That's not making it so easy, though. Let's dark horse it. I just like doing the dark horse thing. I think that if the Hawks can somehow end up in the top 5, you could easily see Snyder possibly.
Oh yeah, no. If the Hawks make top 5, especially top 4, they get Quinn has a chance.
Quinn's a good coach. We know he's a good coach. Like,
what if Ty Lue gets the Clippers to like the 2 seed, 3 seed?
Perk had him, didn't even have them in his playoff 6, the locked-in 6 playoff team. He thinks they're going to be playing in the play-in.
I don't think
that was disrespectful because he had the Thunder at 6. Like, I'm like, nah, the Clippers are still better than them.
Well, Perk played for the Thunder, so take that for what it is.
Yeah.
But... shit, I ain't got much else for the NBA. I'll be honest with you. I think Philly's going to disappoint because James Harden's going to.
Give me one team that you think everybody should look out for that nobody's talking about. That could be like how the Thunder made the play-in. Who can that team be this year to you?
Orlando.
Okay.
Franz and Pella.
Yeah. I like that. I think it's actually the Nets. And I know that they made the playoffs last year, but a lot of that was because of what KD and Kyrie.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that one.
But I think that the Nets are a team that will surprise a lot of people with how competitive they are, especially if Ben Simmons can resemble somewhat of the player he was in Philly. I think that could easily be, something.
I agree, Jay. Parlay Pete. I'm getting sleepy. Fucking let's
fluff it real quick so I can put it up. I know we're about to get to it, but here, just fluff a little more if you don't mind.
I'll fluff. Yeah. Colorado lost a disgusting game this past a week ago, Friday night, and you know what? That's kind of the game. USC lost to Notre Dame after Notre Dame lost to Louisville. You know what, man? Sometimes with these high-end quarterbacks, y'all think they're just going to take off and win the game, but it's not the NFL where a great guy at quarterback is going to win the game. It's the team, because the teams are so much like there's so much difference between like the front line, the front 7 in so many teams that, hey man, if your front 7's not that, it doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. And I think Lincoln Riley has to take a better approach to the trenches because he just hasn't done that. And I think that Coach Prime, on the other hand, understands the approach he needs to take to the trenches. He just doesn't have the guys yet.
All right.
But just let me know when you're ready to kick this college football 6-pack.
Absolutely.
Because, man, I tell you what, Parlay Pete, I'm struggling to get through it.
Here, I'm ready. I'm ready for our 6-pack.
All right. It's time for Parlay Pete's College 6-pack.
All right, we're back, guys. We took a week off, but we're still in the W's. We're still stacking W's in the standings, so that's what matters, right? But anyways, we're going to kick this thing off with the biggest upset that I have coming all week. We got Rutgers at Indiana. I like Indiana. I've watched a few Indiana games this year, and I don't think that there's that big of a talent gap between them and Rutgers. And for them to have them at plus 175, I really just like Indiana on the money line. So give me Indiana on the money line. Next, we got Minnesota at Iowa. This game, literally, the over-under has shot down so much to where I have to take the over. And I tell you what, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I like over 31 in the Minnesota at Iowa game. And I know that these teams really do struggle to score. It's Big Ten football at noon. It's just not a very appealing match. They got to get over 31. So we're going to take over 31 in the Minnesota at Iowa game. Next, we got Ole Miss at Auburn. Give me Ole Miss on the money line. We really like what Lane's got going on there, and it's not time for them to have that upset loss just yet. They still have to play Georgia, and I think that this is kind of a trap game maybe for that game because that game's in like 2 weeks. But give me Ole Miss on the money line. Hugh Freeze, sorry, you don't get your revenge. Next, we got Tennessee at Alabama. I like over 48 in this game. I see a lot of points actually getting scored. I'd be surprised if it didn't go over 48 because even if this game is supposed to be somewhat close, I don't know how it is in a 31-21 type game. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of those type of games. I like over 48. Next, we got Michigan at Michigan State. One program's a dumpster fire. The other one's got all the talent in the world. And even though they're facing kind of scandalous stuff right now, I like Michigan to cover this spread. Give me Michigan minus 23.5 at Michigan State. They're going to kick the shit out of Michigan State. And then finally, probably the game of the week, we got Penn State at Ohio State. Give me Penn State +5. They've kind of got to get this thing done. I think it's going to be a really close game. This is probably the best team that James Franklin has had in his tenure there. And this is a beatable Ohio State team because of their quarterback questions. So give me Penn State +5.
All right, so got Indiana on the money line. Minnesota at Iowa over 31. Ole Miss on the money line. Tennessee at Bama over 48. Michigan minus 3.5. And Penn State +5.
That is correct, sir.
You like it. I love it. I need you to fluff until we get to the NFL six-pack.
I'm ready for it.
Nah, I got it. I got to go to the bathroom. I'm hurting.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, just fluff for me, please.
Yeah, well, we got quite a bit of NFL action that's coming up this week, and you guys will get to see based on the way that I had the picks set up. We got a really good slate coming this week. There's actually quite a few different good games, and I'll touch on a few of them, obviously, once I put out the picks. But it's a pretty obvious ones this week, in my opinion. And the way that Vegas has got these lines set, you can't help but take a fucking chunk out of these people when you get a chance. So certainly going to be a lot going on, especially we're getting to that point where it's almost the middle of the season. Yeah, so it should be pretty fun. I'm definitely excited about it. I'm definitely excited about it. So, and you got a big game too this weekend. You got the Dolphins and Eagles, possible Super Bowl preview for some. Some believe that might be our Super Bowl. Yeah, a lot of good action actually this week. A ton of it. And, a couple rivalry matchups. Big game for the Falcons this week. But as everybody knows, I definitely don't like touching them. I can't touch them anymore because I've got too much of a rooting interest when it comes to that type of stuff.
So you're afraid to touch the Falcons?
Yeah. I don't touch that. And it's sexy this week, honestly. Desmond Ridder, I have no confidence there. So I can't – if I don't have confidence in him, how can I have confidence in betting on the team?
Look here.
He touches the ball every play. He touches the ball every play.
That's the problem. You ready for this NFL six-pack?
We are ready for this NFL six-pack.
All right, it's time for Parlay Picks NFL six-pack.
We got a juicy six-pack here, especially after taking this week off. So we're going to make up for it. We're going to definitely cash this one. We can call this one the 6-0. We're going to start off with the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. Me and Lee actually have a lot of interesting stuff dealing with this game. But nonetheless, I like over 43. I expect Baltimore is going to have to put some points up. I know a lot of people, contrary to popular belief, would think that this game would kind of go under. I like the over. I expect them to both put up some points. And 43 is a kind of low number. A 24-20 game certainly is within the realm of possibility. Give me over 43 in Lions at Ravens. Next, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Denver Broncos. Dumpster fire of a team for Denver. Packers coming off the bye. Man, Denver really needs a win. And their defense played convincing enough to me against Kansas City on the road to where I think that they can get this one. So we're going to take Denver as the upset on the money line at home. I think that Sean Payton finally gets him one at home. and they're able to take down the Packers, which is kind of crazy because I like the Packers, and I did. But Jordan Love has had some really stinky games the last few games. Next, we got another upset I really like. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Los Angeles Rams. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers low-key suck, and I think that the Rams are kind of a good team. But I like Pittsburgh to come in there. It's going to practically be a Steelers home game. We know exactly how LA games go, and they do have the defense that can play with them. I expect Cooper Kupp to kind of get off a little bit, but I expect Pittsburgh to kind of put together a good game. Give me Pittsburgh on the money line.
Does Cooper Kupp's getting off have anything to do with your fantasy interests?
It has everything to do with it.
Okay, just making sure.
It has everything to do with it. Next, we got the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. Give me the Bills minus 6.5. Bill Belichick and the Patriots are the worst team in the NFL. I kid you not. They might be the worst team in the league. I have a hard time taking them in any capacity. The Bills already played their stinky game last week. So we're going to take the Bills minus 6.5. We bought 1.5, though, on this because the spread is 8. And even though I think they won't have any trouble, covering that 8, I'm just going to buy it because I think, well, what if it is a touchdown game and Bill actually gets his guys up for the game? Give me the Bills minus 6.5. Next, we got the Chargers at the Chiefs. I like over 48. I like over 48. I think that the Chiefs' offense is going to get back in sync, and the Chargers are going to be chasing them, and that's going to lead to this game going over. Give me over 48. And then our final pick, the game of the week, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Philadelphia Eagles. There is nothing convincing about this 5-1 Eagles team to me. There's nothing convincing. I know that this is a road game and it's going to be a big game. Give me the Dolphins plus 3.5. I bought a point because it's 2.5 is the spread. Give me the Dolphins plus 3.5. I like them to cover plus 3.5 in this game.
All right, so we got hold on, let me finish typing this last one in. We got Lions and Ravens over 43.
Uh-huh.
Broncos money line.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers money line.
Mm-hmm.
Bills minus 6.5, but we're gonna buy 1.5 of those points, even though you think they'll cover that 8. You just
in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
And then we got the Chargers at the Chiefs going over 48, and we got the Dolphins plus 3.5.
Yep.
You like it? I love it. You know what it's time for.
Lee's 3. Lee's 3. Lee's 3. Lee's 3.
So Lee's 3 this week is going to be give me Penn State plus 5.
Yeah.
Give me the Dolphins plus 3.5.
Yeah.
You know what, Sean McDermott? Give me those Bills minus 6.5.
Hey, there we go.
I like those bets. I hope you love those bets. Hey, Sus. But yeah, man, I think we got a good slate going this weekend. Real quick before we get out of here, the Braves are in the playoffs.
We talked about this before. I think game 1. I think it was game 1. Was it before when we knew that it was the Phillies that we were playing, and it was very obvious to me. I said, "Wow, this is pretty much the World Series. The winner of the Phillies and Braves is going to win the World Series this year." I didn't think the Diamondbacks were going to beat the Dodgers, but I said, "Well, I don't have any issue with playing the Dodgers." I'm like, "We'll beat the Dodgers. We're better than the Dodgers." There was no team in the AL that I thought really could beat us either, honestly. But yeah, it was, it's tough. This is the most disappointing, I think, ever. And the Braves have done a lot of disappointing shit in my childhood. But yeah. I think that this might be the most disappointing Braves team ever.
Yeah, no, because I thought they were a World Series team, but I think the problem is the format. I think baseball is one of those sports where you can't ask guys to play every day, and then you say, "Hey, take a week off." Hey, Chuck, take a week off, come back and be your best self. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And another thing before we get out of here. The Dawgs are number 1, and Carson Beck is finding himself.
He's looked good. There was a pass I saw on Twitter that he made. I was like, that's an insane pass. That was a pro pass. Yeah, I think that, unlike Desmond Ridder, he was an example of let's give it some time and let's see the season progress. And that's exactly what's happened. He's actually progressed. Desmond Ridder is a mixed bag where, he had one game that looked pretty good. We barely won. And then the very next week, he threw 3 interceptions. So it's just kind of like, who is this guy, right? And
not good. That's what Desmond Ridder is. Carson Beck is showing that he could possibly be good.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, the Dogs are back on top. I like where we're going. Colin Cowherd said that Jim Harbaugh, best coach in college football, and Michigan blow out any team in the country. And I go, well, they've not played anybody, so.
Well, we'll put it this way: Michigan has a Georgia part of their practice. Like they have a part of their practice dedicated to the Dogs because at the end of the day, they know that that's who you have to beat to win. In reality, it goes through Athens.
Parlay Pete, I have nothing else to say because Georgia has the opportunity to.
Brock Bowers being out for these next 4 games could be huge, but they're so talented all the way around to where, they're going to miss him. Of course, he's the best, arguably he's the best player on the team, right? But I think that they'll be fine.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe Ladd's finally healthy and we see the best of Ladd McConkey. Like, we haven't seen much from him this year. I know he's a receiver, not a tight end, but he's more of a slot guy. So, in the passing game, same guy.
One thing's for sure, Kirby's going to have those boys prepared.
Oh, you already know that. Hey, Parlay Pete, great time, man.
Great time, brother.
All right, dog, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Out of here.